gbé nínú ọ́díò yẹn ni àlàyé kan ló sẹ̀ǹdẹ̀ sí mi ní láti Benin Republic. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ lọ́dọ̀ mo ń bọ̀ mo bí ti máa ẹgbẹ́ ọ́díò yẹn nísìnyí mo ń bọ̀. Ẹ̀yin politician yẹn ẹ̀ ní kúure wàláì. Sórí ìwọ tó wà lábroad tó wà ní UK NHS ń tọ́jú ẹ̀ ká tẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ó ti mẹ́hẹ̀ díẹ̀ conservative ní àti lé wọn lọ nísìn ọlọ́run àfúnlé bọ̀ ṣe díẹ̀ bí a wá tẹ̀ gbọ́ sí wa lẹ́nu àwa táwọn pariwo Yorùbá nation bí a wá tẹ̀ ṣe wá mọ̀ pé kí Starmer yẹn wọn ló máa ń jà fáwọn activist mú tẹ mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣá mo ṣe ń gbọ́ background ẹ̀ nísìn ni so ìyẹn wáyé nígbà míì mo fi lọ mọ́ díẹ̀ yẹn wá ṣọ́n lè lẹ́nu kò rárá. Ẹ gbọ́ díẹ̀ yìí ṣe gbogbo platform ti set up. Yeah, I think all the platform is set. Ṣé ká tan mixlr mo rò pé àwọn tèmi wà lálẹ́ yìí. Àdìsá ṣọ́ọ̀bù mo kí ẹ aṣa ti ṣẹlẹ̀ Yorùbá ìyá mi dáadáa ẹ̀gbọ́n mi lélẹ́yìí kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ láéláé tó ṣe wá sórí program tó ní àbúrò mi kú iṣẹ́ dáadáa àwọn ọmọ bàbá mi nìyẹn àwọn kan gba tí mò ń ṣe o bí ìjà wọ́n ti bá àwọn kan jánu wọn bọ̀tí tó bá sọ pé tí mò ń ṣe yẹn ìkan dáadáa ni ọlọ́run àbá ń dúró tì torí pé ìyà tó ń jẹ wọ́n tó bá ti kàn wọ́n ó kàn mí náà ṣé gbogbo wọn la máa fún lówó èèyàn kan send message kan send mọ́ mọ́ kí n tó play audio yìí ẹ má máa rò pé bí àwa ní responsibility yìí no government Nàìjíríà ló yẹ kó yẹ responsibility yìí kì í bá òun sọ fún àǹtí òun kó jọ òun ti bá sọ̀rọ̀ àǹtí òun ò dáhùn lóhùn òun fẹ́ ra mọ́tò fi máa fi ṣe uber ọmọọṣẹ́ táǹtì ẹ̀ ṣe ń bíbá yìí ni èèlò ló mọ̀ táǹtì ẹ̀ ń gbà ní lówó iṣẹ́ ọmọ amẹ́ni ẹlòmíì tẹ̀rọ ẹ̀rọ gbogbo àwọn àǹtí yẹn ló ń ṣe full time job ni ẹlòmíì 16 hours ló ń ṣe ó lọ́mọ nílé mo kọ́ bá báípísù mo send ẹ̀ sí padà àwa kọ́ ni response tí yàrá ń jẹ́ yẹn bọ́ sójú títì kẹ́ lọ́ máa complain kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ brother mi Ọlásùnbọ̀ Kóìkì báńkì Bọ́láńlé àdúrà wa gbà adélẹ̀ lérí ẹ̀ ń fìyà jẹ gbogbo wa ẹ̀ ń tẹ̀sí wa lójú àwọn Nigerians máa dìde spirit yẹn máa dìde lára wọn kó tó di pé Yorùbá nation dé àwọn èèyàn kàwé wọ̀ ríṣẹ́ conservative mò ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tẹ padà ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ọ́díò yìí díẹ̀ mo ní play gbogbo ẹ̀ mo kàn máa play díẹ̀ fún yín ni olówó again cause audio pọ̀ mo dẹ̀ fi lọ máa play kì í ti mọ forward lélẹ̀.
Yeah, you are very correct, very very correct, very right. Èmi náà ni èmi àtàndá mọ̀rú fàdéyìnká bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo wà ní Àjàṣẹ́ Pọtnówó to be precise. Iṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà ni mo ń ṣe. And you can imagine a university graduate studied marine engineering.
Ẹ jẹ́ n pọ́sẹ̀ síbẹ̀ bí ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tẹ́lẹ̀ yìí sọ a university graduate studied marine engineering ó wà lọ ń wọ̀kadà ní Àjàṣẹ́ ní Benin Republic ogun máa wọlé pa gbogbo yín ni èèyàn olóṣèlú yẹn ẹ̀ ní ṣoríire marine engineering ló ṣe ní yunifásitì ó wá kúrò Nàìjíríà ó lọ ń wọ̀kadà ní Benin Republic ìyẹn tẹ wọ̀kadà lé Nàìjíríà Benin ló ti lọ ń wọ̀kadà a university graduate with a marine mo tẹ̀ láti tún lọ máa kí àwọn ló ń pè ní marine engineering how did we get to this nonsense what a utter nonsense for you now to be defending Nigeria when we should all come together and demand that the Yoruba people go on their separate ways ká ló máa yanjú ara wa. Mashu ń bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tún padà sẹ́yìn díẹ̀ sí.
Yeah, Mr. Koiki Kale. Yeah, you are very correct, very very correct, very right. Yeah.
Mo rí brother mi ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà is costing me a lot of money. Ẹlòmíì owó tó yẹ kẹ́ fi rọra tún manage lẹ fi ra data pé kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tẹ̀ mọ́ tó ń lọ kẹ́ má lọ wà get caught up láàrin méjì. It's very very expensive here as well láti run ní internet. Bàtẹ dúpẹ́ fọlọ́n pé tiwa ní yàtọ̀ díẹ̀ ju tiyín lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ brọ́dà mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo ń bọ̀.
Èmi náà ni èmi àtàdámọ̀ orúfà tẹ̀yìn ká bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo wà ní Àjàṣẹ́ Port-Novo to be precise. Iṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà ni mo ń ṣe. And you can imagine a university graduate studied marine engineering that's supposed to live a quality, a better life, end up riding commercial bike, Okada. In a foreign land, you see the effects of Nigeria. Nigeria is a destroyer, is a killer. Nigeria is a destiny killer. Àwa tí Nigeria tó yé oyé wa dáadáa. Our brothers and sisters, àwọn ìyá wa, àwọn bàbá wa, àwọn bọ̀dá wa, tí wọ́n understand what does it mean by Nigeria. Àwọn ni wọ́n understand, but àwa tá understand àwọn dáadáa. That they understand very well, in depth, what will be the effect, the benefit, if Yoruba as a race exists as a sovereign state. If I were to be in my Yoruba country, I know how and what I will be as a Yoruba personnel in my Yoruba country. See, look at the effect of Nigeria. Anyway, it's very saddening, very heartbreaking.
In fact, ibi tó kù yẹn private conversation tí kò gbọdọ̀ lọ sórí afẹ́fẹ́ ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo àwọn wo lọ́n pè ní marine engineering. Mo kẹ́ Silver Badmus, Olakunle ní I know a BSc holder doing Okada work around Igolo to Port-Novo too. Marine engineering is the engineering of boats, ships, at a submarine, and any other marine vessel. Here it is also taken to include engineering of the other ocean system and structure referred to in certain academic and professional circles as ocean engineering. The marine engineering master is concerned with the design, analysis, and operational of machinery and the system for merchant and naval ships and submarine. Ó wà lọ́n wọ̀kadà ní Benin Republic. Mo kí kẹ́kẹ́ of course. Julius mo kí yín. Do you understand what this means? I don't think some of you understand. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wo kí ni pay marine engineering held at its salary in UK. Marine engineering uk.gov. Tí wọ́n bá fi lọ sí career yẹn lélẹ́yìí o. A marine engineer design, build, and repair boats, ships, submarine, then offshore platform and drilling equipment. Average salary is between £24,000 up to £55,000. Typical hours is about 39 to 49 hours a week. You could work evenings and weekends. Orí nationalcareer.service.gov.uk. Òní mo ti ń wo ní tí mò ń kà fún yín. So, ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sẹ́yìn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Who is the highest paid? No, how much is a marine engineer paid in the UK? The average salary of a marine engineer is £38,529 per year. Ẹ bá mi mú lọ sí náírà, owó is 1,900 láàárọ̀ yìí. Ẹ sáré multiply ẹ̀, mo kíyà mi títí lọ láṣọ. ẹ tó bá mọ maths dáadáa ẹ bá mi sáré multiply ẹ help me to multiply 38, let's even leave it at 38,000 pounds back to naira. That is what this man, my brother, that is a marine engineer, studied, but right now is driving Okada in Ajashe in Benin Republic. Unbelievable. Sure. The average additional cash compensation, a cash compensation for a marine engineer in the UK is about 2,500 to the range of 1,000. So there's also some extra money that comes along with it, plus some other benefit. Now, mo lọ sórí one pe site kan ní Reed, àwọn tó wà ní UK mo site yẹn when you're looking for a job, reed.co.uk. The average marine engineer salary in the UK is somewhere low from 39,000 and it could go high up to 42,000 depending on your experience. This is what many of you don't understand. So what equivalent of this is what should be paid to an or a marine engineer back home in Nigeria as well. You should be getting equivalent of whatever 39,000 pounds is in naira. Nigeria doesn't even have a working job site. Mo rò pé Dúpọ̀ Onítìrì náà ò ṣí job site fún àwọn máàlè, àwọn born bastard. Òun ti ṣí òmìnira job center fún yín, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, idiot all over the place. Ẹ jẹ́ kí èmi náà sáré lọ ṣe calculation, ẹ jẹ́ lọ sórí calculator mi, calculator dà. Mo fi owó èlò ló jẹ́ ní náírà. Mo kí gbogbo ọlẹ́ nǹkan sọ. A máa kántẹ̀ mọ́ láìpẹ́ 39,000 pounds times 1,900, which is the exchange rate today. Owó yẹn pọ̀ náà. 74 million. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of money. Ẹ ṣé gan ni Julius tẹ̀tí fún mi ní answer. One is about 72.2 million. That is what this brother should be earning. Ojo 57 law, Mr. Dairo. 74 million ni. 74 million plus. Okay, in dollars, yeah, 57,000. Now, we're not using dollar. Let's just work with naira because, you know, well, I mean, if you're putting it back in dollar, definitely it's $57,000. That is what this my brother should be earning. But the average Nigerian that we are telling that is the value of what the government or a private sector, not even the government, it should be a private sector, should be paying you as a marine engineer. But this our brother is somewhere in Ajashe Poki, riding Okada. Let's listen to him again.
Yeah, you are very correct. Very, very correct. Very right. Yeah, but no, to be precise. And you can imagine a university graduate studied marine engineering.
It was very clear. A university graduate that studied marine engineer. Moki Mr. John Gerard, Mr. Ilumo Kafa, Salamu alaikum, àdúrà yín á gbà. Kò dé bàjẹ́ fún yín láíláí. Mo máa ń gbádùn tí bá ra àwọn àfáà tó wá ń comment. Because mo máa ń jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé ìjà tá ń jà kò ń ṣèjẹ̀sìn o. Tá bá ń dárúkọ ẹ̀sìn láàrin program kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́ sí o. Àfáà tó bá lọ study marine engineer kò bá ẹ̀sìn ẹ̀ jẹ́ o. Kódà àwọn muslim náà wà tó ń ṣàwọn iṣẹ́ yìí o. Kò ní pé kó má ṣe ìjọsìn fọ́lọ́run, kódà kò ní kó má dá mọ́ṣáláṣí tiẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Mo kí Pastor Lálẹ́kan, ìjà tá gbé dání mo máa ń clear lórí platform. Mo rẹ̀ máa ń sọ nígbà tí ẹ bá lọ sí àwọn platform mi náà ẹ má lọ àwọn kan wà tó yẹ pé fracas ló ń ṣe tó ń ṣe Yorùbá nation náà tó máa ń fa ẹ̀sìn nìkan kìnìkan. But let us make it always clear. 1948 ni wọ́n dá NHS sílẹ̀ táwọn olòṣì conservative wá bàjẹ́ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ àti lé wọn lọ nísìn bá ṣe máa lẹ́yìn olóṣèlú náà lọ nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bá yé jẹ́ because 24 years is more than enough láti fix ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kí a tẹ̀lé sọ pé àwọn èèyàn wá rí ayé gbé. The average marine engineer salary in the UK, the lowest, as we said earlier, is about almost £39,000. That's about 74 million. Ló yẹ kẹ́niyẹn máa gbà lọ́dọọdún. Government máa wá tax ẹ̀ because àwọn tó bá earn up to 40,000 ó ní bracket of tax. Àwọn tó mọ àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ò sí lórí program lálẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mọ èlò ni wọ́n máa tax irú èèyàn báyìí. Tó bá wá tax èèyàn báyìí owó yẹn la máa fi tọ́jú àwọn tí ẹ̀gbẹ́ ń dùn, àwọn tó ní disability, owó yẹn la máa fi tọ́jú ìlú. Bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà olówó ò jẹ́ kó tax owó lórí burúkú. ní tó ń fa wàhálà náà ní Kenya nìyẹn. Mo ń gbọ́ ìyàwó mi tó wà ní Vantage yẹn gẹ́ọ̀ yẹn Palikista, ìlú kan wà tí ó dà pé Pakistan, I think it's Pakistan, government block 200,000 of the same card. Wọ́n náà gbọ́dọ̀ máa san tax. Ṣé rí kò síbi táwọn èèyàn fi avoid the tax. Nigerians are not paying tax, but the average millionaire ní Nigeria kò fi san tax. Olórí burúkú ni wọ́n, gbogbo wọn sá fún tax. Wọ́n mọ bó ṣe ń kọ́nà. Kódà ìyàwó Rishi Sunak a gbọ́ pé ó tọ́jú owó pa. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa forílẹ̀ yìí bí wá kàgbéga falẹ̀rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bàtí bẹ́ẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹjẹ́ ká máa lépa tẹ̀síwájú fọpọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ odò àdìdé bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ, ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Tábà máa jẹ́ ògo adúláwọ̀ tó máa recognize wa lágbàáyé àgbọ̀rọ̀ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró lórí marine engineer tàgbẹ́nulé lálẹ́. We are talking about a Yoruba man that studied marine engineering, and I've given us the background of who is a marine engineer. These are people that fix the boat, anything that got to do with vessel, ship, even submarine. The average salary, and I've even seen that they're more paying. There's a job right now, if you go to the Reed website and I've just typed in marine engineer, it has come back with a couple of jobs, and I'll tell you where the jobs are. View marine engineer salary, £51,000, Bristol, Southeast, where Mokia Jaya ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ. Easy, gbogbo Marami, Moki gbogbo ẹ̀dá wà l'Amẹ́ríkà. Southeast London, níbi táwọn Nigerians pọ̀ sí. If you study a marine engineer, you should go and start looking for a job as a marine engineer. In the Southeast, there's a salary of £51,000, 51,500. The one in Bristol is not just 51, it's 51,750. There's another marine engineering job in Ellingsborg, it's £51,000. There's one in Southampton, 48,750. There's another one in Peterhead, 47,000. There's another one in Glasgow, Nibiti Mayegunwa, 45,375 pounds. There's another marine engineer's job in Norwich. Now, let's look at the one in Southeast because Ibelawa Yoruba Posi. Thanks so much, MedNet Oldies. When we make calls, tabambu awonyo, konshe ite ngbo wa lambu, ema get mixed up. Even though I've been asked not to curse anybody, especially Nigerians, but the politician, let's look at the requirement for me to look for this job because I am a qualified marine engineer. I want to get into that field. Mofimanu lemo, iminoti upgrade, mutikwe ni London, so mutilo kawisi, which is something that is good. You get a student loan, you can go back to university and do a degree. If you're very good, you're lucky, you could get a master's scholarship. You could get a PhD. Your job will become secured. But even as a master holder, or as a BSc, just like our brother that is a BSc. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ ká lè wò pé tó bá jẹ́ pé UK ni brother yìí wà, he might not get the job, he might start as a basic, then he can work his way towards it, because kò ń ṣe pé ó lè guarantee náà, but at least the chances of him becoming a marine engineer in the field tó ti lọ study, that chances is very very high. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ̀n kan táwọn sọ ní message to send sí mi.
They're supposed to live a quality, a better life. End up.
No.
Right.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́dọ̀ sẹ́yìn again.
Yeah, Mr. Koiki, Kale. Yeah, you are very correct. Very, very correct. Very right. Yeah, mi náà ni èmi àtàndámọ̀ rúfàdé yìí ká. Yeah, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo wà. Mo wà ní Àjàṣẹ́. But no, to be precise. Iṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà ni mo ń ṣe. And you can imagine a university graduate studied marine engineering. They're supposed to live a quality, a better life. End up riding commercial bike, Okada. In a foreign land, you see the effects of Nigeria. Nigeria is a destroyer, is a killer. Nigeria is a destiny killer. Àwa tá a mọ̀ àwa tí Nigeria tó yé oyé wa dáadáa.
Okay, all right, let's leave it there. Interfaith gbọ́ngàn nìyẹn is a marine engineer. If he was meant to be in the UK, even for the fact that he was able to study something to do with engineering, his chances of getting a job is very very high, because for you to get to that stage and study to that level, brain ẹ̀ yàtọ̀ sáwà tó yẹ pé kákọ̀ lọ fọbọ́ kánulẹ̀, kò ṣe pé brain tiwa yẹn náà kò lè ṣiṣẹ́, but iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ó yàtọ̀ sẹ́ni tó lọ kọ́ iṣẹ́ engineer. Now let's come back. I've looked another website tó ń pè ní uk.indeed.com, because mo rí ti marine yẹn dáadáa lórí mo ń gbọ́wọ́lé àwọn yẹn kò fún mi ní job description, so I've now gone back to another site. This one, it says marine engineer ní Renam yẹn ni àwọn Nàìjíríà náà pọ̀ sí area yẹn, wọ́n máa ń ibẹ̀ area yẹn wọ́n máa ń gé mọ́tò, gbogbo àwọn mọ́tò tó máa ń send wá sí ilé tẹ́ máa ń rí yẹn, ibẹ̀ ló ti ń ṣe loading ẹ̀. I know that area very well, lórí A13, very very busy place. This one is £3,683 a month before tax for 9 months. Ni wọ́n ní dẹni yẹn fún. So ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ multiply 3,683. Ẹ jẹ́ ká multiply it by 12. 3,683 times 12. So again, that's about £44,000. So tó bá wà ní UK, brother mi tó wà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣe, it could be earning up to £44,000, which we've worked out to close to about almost 74 million naira a year. Nínú ẹni government, I think the government tax about 40%, depending on that job bracket, you know, in terms of the earning. When tó bá ti earn up to 40,000, with 40%. I don't know, but I believe it's somewhere around that area. Then remember that there's the same tax in Loma fin toju àwa tó kù, àwa mẹ̀kúnnù, àwa tá ní expertise tó yẹn. So, but the problem, like I said, is a lot of millionaires do not want to pay tax, and it's always around the world. They will try to avoid paying tax. On my man dogmosi and what accountant. Now, let's look at this job description. This is the full job description. We are currently looking for an enthusiastic, driven, and adaptable individual to work alongside our energetic team in Reina on a 9-month fixed-term contract. The role requires a can-do attitude, which every Nigerian, as Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, we all have the can-do attitude, but the problem is the country is not giving you the opportunity for that can-do. Pé mo lè ṣe, Koiki mo dẹ̀ lè ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn bá mi gbé mi wọlé mo ní qualification yẹn, but it doesn't work like that. Mo ń gbọ́ Prophet Tibetan lánàá, and he was saying a lot of things that I might touch on hopefully in the course of this program tonight. We look at Europe as if it's because the way the system is in that Africa, especially in Nigeria. So let's come back here. The role requires a can-do attitude. We are a fast-paced business with plenty of opportunities for growth. So if this sounds like you, we love to hear from you. This is the way your country should be. Job opportunity everywhere. Catering industry, housing, electrical, engineering. Kò ń ṣe pé ká wá lọ jókòó sí church for 7 days. Ká wá sọ pé ìyà kan ló ń ṣe wá. No. Kò ń ṣe pé ká lọ jókòó sí orí àdúrà. Àwọn kan wà ìtọ́lọ́run gbélé àwọn lọ́wọ́ nìyẹn. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń pè wọ́n ní àwọn wòlíì Ọlọ́run. But gbogbo wa kọ́ la máa jẹ́ wòlíì Ọlọ́run. So what they've done is that they've given us this false hope that all our problems needs to be dealt with because it's a spiritual attack. Yes, I am not disputing that there's no spiritual attack, but we need a working system that will tell you that if this opportunity is good for you, why apply? Now we look at the job description. Now let's look at the job purpose. The purpose of the marine engineer role is to ensure láti rí pé ó dájú pé the machinery, electrical, hydraulic, refrigeration and the marine diesel engine system are maintained to the highest of the standard. Ṣé mo pé irú àwọn ta ló ń fọbọ́ nísìn a lè ṣe irú iṣẹ́ yìí because èmi ò lọ study ẹ̀. Ìwọ tó ń nulẹ̀ o lè ṣe irú iṣẹ́ yìí, but iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n náà ṣe yẹn ó ní value ju eléyìí náà lọ in your own sector. So every sector ẹni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní bank ó ní value, but ní Nàìjíríà a value ara wa. Ẹ̀rẹ́ ni tó ń gbálẹ̀ ẹ̀rí bí onídọ̀tí irú iṣẹ́ tó. Nígbà tí mo jáde ní èní mo rí woman yẹn àwọn bin truck yẹn ló ń wà báyìí bó ṣe jókòó sínú ẹ̀ fine woman bó ṣe wà yẹn owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ó ju ẹni tó jẹ́ professor lọ ní Nàìjíríà because ó wà value. We don't value ourselves not because of we. It's because the foundation of Nigeria affected every single one of us. But what you are all looking for is Koiki, we know all this, but we will find a true leader. No, we cannot find a true leader when we have different mentality of thinking. We hate the Igbos. The Igbos don't like us. We don't like the Hausas. Their ideology is different from us. We want to build a skyscraper as quickly as possible. The North doesn't want to build it. The Igbos want to do another crime. Everybody has their own different ideology. I live in this country. I have just gone to vote out this government because this government only Milara. And remember that I was not born here. So, no, you will follow the constitution, the law of the country that you will stay. I have lived here now for 24 years plus. I have respected and maintained the law of the country. Does not mean that if I commit a crime, the law is not going to catch up with me. And if the law catch up on me, it will give me the sentence subject to my crime. I was watching another YouTuber this afternoon, and these I want us to put at the Shere Inteshende Mobenyi. I am there if you need me to talk to you, or if you need, advice. Look, I should be charging you £50 for a consultation of 30 minutes. If not, lọ́sọ́dọ̀ lawyer or kò lọ́sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tẹjọ́ wà níbí àpàlà. Ẹlòmíì wà ní UK kò mọ̀ tó ń lọ rárá nílùú yìí o. They've lived there for for decades wọn mọ tó ń lọ rárá nílùú yìí wọ́n kọ̀ lọ́ ń faṣẹ́ kọ́ dẹ̀ sọ pé Wàsíù ń bọ̀ wá play kọ́ lọ jó kọ́ gbọ́yàn síta tàbí kọ́ sọ pé Zazo ń bọ̀ wọ́n mọ jack shit tó ń lọ nílùú yìí. Be very very careful. Irú ayé wọn ṣe Nàìjíríà o. I was watching a video how this woman got trapped with this. Ẹ má bínú pé mo kàn tú because lórí ìdáhùnṣe Yorùbá nation a gbọ́dọ̀ máa mú àwọn ọgbọ́n kọ̀ọ̀kan náà fẹ́yìn especially èyí tẹ̀sẹ̀ ń dé tẹ́fẹ́ hustle ẹ̀ ń wọ́ owó Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kó dé ẹ̀wọ̀n. This man was explaining how this woman fall in love with a man in the UK. Àwọn tó ń nọ́ọ̀kẹ́ burúkú burúkú ni bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn. Àwọn tó máa ń ọ̀dà ọjà wá sínú ilé àwọn èèyàn tó bá ti rí èèyàn tó sọ pé that's why nílùú yìí we are very careful. Bẹ́ẹ̀mi àti ìjáyàjá àbáṣe wáyé gan mo kọ̀ lè sọ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ jẹ́ ọ̀dà nǹkankan sílé yín á béèrè pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ilé tiẹ̀ ń kọ́ ọmọ ilé kí ló ṣe ilé ìtọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀ because we are very careful. Kò mí pé wọ́n trust me kò mí pé wọ́n mọ̀ mí kà má tẹ̀ tí wàá sọ ẹni tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ ẹ má lọ jẹ pọ̀n tó ibi di pé ẹ̀yin obìnrin mọ̀ bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí o ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ ọkùnrin arákùnrin yẹn nísìnyí wọ́n ní wọ́n mọ̀ ibi tó wà báyìí nísìnyí àti nọ́mbà tó ń pè sí o gbogbo ẹ̀ ti wọgbó lọ ẹ jẹ́ kọ́kọ́ fún yín ní background story yẹn ó wà lórí YouTube o máa share link ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lọ wo just under 20 minutes ni o àfi ń kọ́gbọ́n ni o especially ẹ̀yin obìnrin má fall in love tójú ẹ̀ máa dí o bọ̀bọ́ yẹn ọ̀dà ẹrù burúkú sínú ilé bèbí yẹn ló wá ń sáìn òun ló ń gbà wọ́n tún wá sọ fún bèbí yẹn àwọn tó jẹ́ family ẹ̀ tó wà ní Canada àtàwọn tó wà ní UK tó mọ̀ nípa kéèsì yẹn wọ́n máa gbọ́ program yìí àbí kẹ́ tó bá ti mọ story yẹn eléyìí ò ń ṣe story o real life ni o ó wá ṣe masters ni o wọ́n ní kódà wọ́n ṣe fún ní 5 years working visa ó ṣe ríṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn logistics bí ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí nísìn àtọyún àtòun lọ́jọ́ ń lọ sí prison olóyún lọ sí prison nílùú yìí o tó bá dẹ̀ ti bímọ wá gbọmọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ìyá mi ìfagbẹ́milékè ọmọ wọn ní bèbí yẹn even though wọ́n sọ fún pé kò possible ò lè máa báyàn sign ní tó kò ń ṣorúkọ bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ó ní kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ti fall in love ìyẹn ti nà lẹ́pọ̀n pa ó wà lọ́rọ̀ obìnrin náà wà lọ́rọ̀ ọkùnrin bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ti ya wò the last ẹrù tán ló gbà CID ló gbé wá wọn ló tọwọ́ bọ̀ tán báyìí arábìnrin àti mọ́nítọ̀ ẹrù bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn náà máa ń ṣe ṣẹ́rẹ́ kírímìnà oríṣiríṣi bọ̀bọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ tó pe bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ they are all the same cycle ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣẹ̀ ń dé à ń bẹ̀ yín ni àwọn kan wà ètò fi ń jẹun nìyẹn o lè para àwọn kan wà wọ́n máa ń lọ sẹ́wọ̀n wá lọ ṣe bí 6 months 2 years tó o bá ti réyàn for a very long time ó lè ṣe pé wọ́n ló wà ṣé mọ̀ pé McDougall tó pa ní 13 years ago mo ṣẹ̀rí story yẹn lórí BBC lálẹ́ mo sọ fún ìyàwó mi ta ló rántí Tottenham ní 13 years ago wọ́n odindi building wọ́n jó wálẹ̀ ọlọ́pàá pa bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ọmọ onídán lòun náà but for the fact ọlọ́pàá ti pa àwọn ọmọ àdúgbò àtàwọn àwọn tiẹ̀ wọ́n dà lóru ṣe believe pé after 13 years ọmọ ẹ̀ 23 years old wọ́n ti sentence ẹ̀ sí prison for 5 years máa sọ pé dey play Koiki orí à pé máa ní dey play bọ̀bọ̀ wọn ti pẹ́ ní UK ó lówó ìjòrí pé commit crime mo kàn tún move kúrò lórí ti woman mo ṣe padà bọ̀ McDougall èmi ò tẹ́ mọ̀ pé tẹ̀ ó kí ó dà bọ́ sọ pé ó bímọ nígbà yẹn ọmọ yẹn ti pé 23 years old wọ́n wá bá pistol lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bullet nínú ẹ̀ ó lọ ṣe 5 years nísìn wọ́n ti sentence ẹ̀ òun àti another guy kan ní Acne ọmọ McDougall that means pé iṣẹ́ tí bàbá ẹ̀ ń ṣe náà ibẹ̀ ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ so crime náà wà nílùú yìí má wọ mọ́tò tó o bá mọ̀ èmi ò wọ mọ́tò ní mọ́tò kò tẹ̀ ń ṣe ilé tèmi tẹ̀ gbé dání nísìn I'm very very careful ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń gbé mo ní bus pass má wọ mọ́tò ṣé àwọn kan wà títọ́ tí ń ṣe wáyé àkókò ni mo sọ tèmi fún ẹ woman yẹn ká lè padà sórí program tá à ń bá lọ wọ́n ní bọ̀bọ́ yẹn wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fẹ́ra wọn wọ́n ti wà for 7 months ó tẹ̀ tó wá lóyún fún bọ̀bọ́ yẹn. Wọ́n náà lè sọ fún pé ó lè máa sáìn fún orúkọ tó ń ṣe. Ó dàbí nísìn kí pásò kan wọ yàtọ̀ sí pé neighbor mi pé kí pásò máa ń dé pé can you collect for our neighbor tí mo dẹ̀ wo pókè ó jọ orúkọ ẹ̀ lóòótọ́ máa gbà. Bọ̀ pé pásò kan wá dé nísìn tí wọ́n ní tó bá ti wá fẹ́ gbé pásò yẹn wá bọ̀bọ́ yàn sí nílé, so bèbí yẹn ló máa ń sáìn. Ọ̀rẹ́ bèbí yẹn wá ń sọ fún pé ẹ̀gbọ́n òun tó ti gbé ní London bíi tèmi náà báyìí tẹ́ máa ní bàbá lóyìnbó àti pẹ́ ní London ẹ̀jọ̀ rẹ̀ àjálẹ̀ ni àdẹ̀fẹ́ wá di corruption person ní Nàìjíríà olùsọ lórí burúkú ibì kan tó bá yẹ pa fẹ́ corrupt ni ẹ̀ 2015 lọ bẹ̀ mí pé kí wọ́n á join APC pé kájọ máa ṣe gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì olórí burúkú òfò wọn kọ́lọ́mbà fọ̀rọ̀kẹ́ Dàpọ̀ William tí mo sọ pé náà àwọn join ẹgbẹ́ òfò tó ń parọ́ after first year tó wọlé tí ẹ̀rọ ti pé Buhari wọlé 6 months kò yan minister ibẹ̀ làwọn ti kọ́kọ́ rí pé wèrè máa lélẹ̀ ìkẹ́ eléyìí ò ń ṣe president ẹ gbọ́n mi máa ní dey play. Wọ́n ní wọ́n sọ fún bèbí yẹn ọ̀rẹ́ tọ́jọ́ ń gbé tọ́jọ́ dé láti Nàìjíríà tọ́jọ́ wá ṣe masters. Wọ́n náà ọ̀yàn ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn wá ń sọ fún pé ọ̀rẹ́ ò lè máa báyàn gba pásù tí kò mọ ẹni tó ní pásù. Ó ní boyfriend ẹ̀ ní wí boyfriend òun ni iṣẹ́ Amazon ló ń ṣe ó ń tajà lórí íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ni. Àwọn ọmọdán wọ́n kún nílùú yìí kí n má dárúkọ àdúgbò kan má ní kó ṣe jádùúgbò tiwa nìkan ló máa ń dárúkọ. Wọ́n kún nílùú yìí bàm olè ni wọ́n. Ìtàwọn fi ń jẹ tó fi ń ṣọlá nìyẹn tó fi ń ṣọrọ̀ ajé tó ṣe ń gun Mercedes tẹ́yìn rí tẹ́wọ́n àwọn lè fún ẹ ní 200,000 bọ́ wọn ní tó fún ẹ ní mímọ́ irú àwa táwọn fún ẹ ní 10,000 máa gbà tó bá tó di 2 weeks ìwọ ní kọ́kọ́ là ń fún 10,000 má wà ní kára mọ́tò bà fún ẹ níbo ni kí n ti rí ṣé kí n lọ jalè ní nígbà tí bá ra mọ́tò bà fún wọ èmi ti ra mọ́tò bà fáwọn fámílì mi. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ pé ká gba Yorùbá nation ká kúrò nínú ràtìràtì kéye máa tọrọ owó ká kàǹtì I mean there's nothing wrong in that but ká kàǹtì máa flow give away you know they do give away èmi ò ṣe give away níbí báyìí èmi gan wá give away. So eventually the woman now was arrested. Woman yẹn wá sọ pé kọ́ máa wọrí ọlọ́pàá máa wọrí o pé ọkọ òun ló ní boyfriend òun ọmọ wọn náà pe nọ́mbà yẹn bí a nọ́mbà yẹn máa dáhùn lọ́la bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ti on the run. Iléeṣẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ni o. Àmọ̀ràn là ń sọ fún ọmọlúàbí ẹ̀yin sisters mi tẹ̀sẹ̀ ń dé mo mọ̀ pé òtútù wà nílùú yìí nídìyàn tó máa káwọn fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ owó àfẹ́ nídìyàn tó máa tọ́jú yín but shine vice yín jẹ́ kó máa gbé lọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀ ìwọ náà máa lọ ka mọ́lé tó bá wá sùn sọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀ má jẹ́ kó ọ̀dà èrò lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ o mọ fámílì ẹ̀ wá ń ṣe jigijigi ó tún wá dáná sí ẹ lọ́rùn. Woman yẹn nísìn pẹ̀lú oyún báyìí prison ló wà máa sọ pé dey play ok máa sọ pé dey play máa sọ pé dey play wàá jẹ nísàlẹ̀ wàá tún dáná sí ẹ lọ́rùn ní UK yìí wàá jẹ ìsàlẹ̀ yẹn wàá jẹ dáadáa wàá jẹ gbẹ wàá tún dáná sí ẹ lọ́rùn tó bá yẹ bèrè lórí comment section. Let's come back to marine engineering torí ibẹ̀ ni ọ̀rọ̀ lọ lálẹ́. How can somebody in Nigeria that studied marine engineer end up riding Okada in Benin Republic? You know why? Because there is no job in Nigeria. Nigeria was never a country. Nigeria was a failure. But many of you do not want to accept the truth because the truth is bitter. It's bitter lemon. You are waiting for who to come and tell you the truth. We are the only one in this generation. Mo kí àtọ́ bí mi lọ́mọ ìkáàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Sórí big screen lẹ́tí ń wò mí. Mo kí gbogbo yín nínú ilé ń bẹ̀. Ọ̀dọ̀ àbá dúró tì. Ẹ kú tọ́jú, ẹ kú àlejò. Àbúrò mọ̀ yé nísìn. Let us be very careful. That's number one. Coming back to the discussion. Every day, I still have my egun there. We are here educating. We are here telling us and ourselves that the future, just like the Labour heading for historical win, according to the exit poll, many Yoruba people that have even supported Yoruba Nation, they are also still in doubt. Mr. Fab Mokeyi, many Yoruba people that we started this journey. Koiki, ìbéèrè sọ pé ẹ máa declare ni kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan. Ìyẹn kan send message sí mi ṣèbá ti fún Tinubu títí di June àgbọn kankan mọ́. Ẹ̀yin náà jáde kẹ́ gbé ẹpọn yín jáde náà ṣèbọ́kùnrin ni yín. If you think it is as easy like that, àwa mọ̀ pé kò easy but àfi sọ́dìjà because the route is a non-violent movement and it is still a non-violent movement. Ẹ lè jáde nísìnyí kẹ́ sọ pé ẹ̀rọ yes tí bá sọ pé a máa jà mọ̀ tí nìkẹ́ lọ́pàá yàn a máa jà yẹn yes à ń jà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ náà báyìí ní mídíà mi mo fi ń jà lójoojúmọ́. But what we are saying is that let's use Labour as the example now. Conservative came in for 14 years. How do Labour wants to take power back from them? Ọ̀nà wo la máa fi gba power lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n wà lórí oyè nísìn? What we have to do first, we first have to prepare our mind. We have to let our mind to be free that Nigeria is not for us anymore. Mo kí Prince Adeshitu, bàbá mi Lukman Ọláìdé mo kí yín, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin silent listeners àtẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa wo program yìí later. The Labour started preparing their ground. They were going from one community. They were speaking to people. And don't come and tell us to go and set up a political party in Nigeria, okay? Akọ̀nlélé fi ṣàpèjúwe ni. Because Labour wa lọ sí church lójoojúmọ́ kan ni. Yes, wọ́n lọ sí Hindu temple, wọ́n lọ sí mọ́ṣáláṣí, mo mọ̀ bí wọ́n dé because mostly no man lọ sí Nigerian mosque àwọn politicians yẹn wọ́n máa lọ campaign fáwọn Nigerians tó wà níbẹ̀. Mo wà máa fi ti bá bèrè lọ́mọ sí mi bí a because I know that a few of them come down few times to the Muslim Association of Nigeria. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Richard Alaba ẹ̀ka rọ́sà. But what we are trying to explain is that for us to achieve the Yoruba nation, Abraham Yenison, Killer sir, Mr. Moses, any Koiki, you don't understand this Nigeria matter. Ẹ ṣàlàyé fún mi gbà yẹn. Tí mo bá understand it. Ẹ ṣàlàyé fún mi. Ṣé ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ni Mr. Moses? Let us fight. Ṣé ti dáwó sí orí ọ̀ràn míyàn? Ṣé ti bá wa dáwó síbẹ̀? Ṣé mo ìtàn ta AK-47? Let us fight. Tẹ́ bá máa fight now, you have to prepare for it. Fighting is not something that let us fight. It took years for them to prepare for Normandy landing. Mo sọ fún yín náà mo ṣe program yẹn tí mo pariwo nínú kitchen. So even if we are going to fight, we have to prepare. Ẹ kò lè jáde kẹ́ni ẹ fi fight. Wọ́n máa pa gbogbo yín dànù. Nigeria lágbára. Ẹ rò pé Nigeria ò lágbára ni. Ó lágbára. And if you're going to fight, you can't fight the conventional war pẹ̀lú Nigeria. It has to be a guerrilla warfare. And even if you're going to fight, you have to be tactical. And taba máa jà ṣé kí n máa wá síbẹ̀ kí n máa ní ọmọ àti láwọn battalion tó wà lóṣòdì tàbá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n kàn máa jáde ni. We don't ẹ ká máa fọgbọ́rọ̀ ọpọlọ ṣe náà. So taba tẹ̀ máa jà náà ṣé máa sọ gbogbo ẹ lórí social media níbi tí ilé ayé dé nísìn. So Yorùbá ni wà náà gbogbo ọ̀la ní number 6. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn èèyàn jọ ṣèbí ọmọ Yorùbá ní ẹ lọ́lé kẹ́kọ́ àwọn èèyàn jọ kẹ́ bá wa kó wọn lọ sí gbogbo tẹ́ ti máa lọ sí gbogbo tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn. Because it's easy for people to type ẹ̀yà ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn èèyàn lọ ṣe training ẹ̀yà ẹ̀rọ àbọ̀n fún wọn ẹ̀jẹ̀ kìíní ẹnu ìyẹn ló dùn jù láti sọ ìbí ẹ̀kan comment ẹ̀ ni. It's a lot of work. So ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ọpọlọ ṣe. Let's first prepare the mind of our people, which is what we are doing. But in time concerning pé many people expect Yoruba nation to have occurred. But ẹ ti gbàgbé pé we are fighting multiple war. We are fighting multiple pieces of different things that doesn't want Nigeria to break. We have people around the world that have vast interest in the shipping industry. Tẹ́bá mọ̀tán pé the shipping industry is one of the biggest in the world. Because most of what you all consume in Nigeria is imported into the country. And we don't control. Do you think that I want the war to happen? Whereas I want to tap on off kí ogun kó ṣẹlẹ̀. Because tógun bá bẹ́lẹ̀ Nigeria nísìn ìbọn máa flow káàkiri ni ìyẹn láti sọ pé kò gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀ dìjà. Let's first prepare our people and say ṣàfẹ́ Yorùbá nation àwọn kan ní Koiki afẹ́ Yorùbá nation bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí Tinubu ṣe tán, no problem. Bí Tinubu ni the last president, I pray so, but do I trust him? No, he's a weaker element. But notwithstanding, if Tinubu goes in the direction to break up Nigeria, ibi nǹkan tí gbogbo àǹfẹ́ náà nìyẹn. But for the fact that people will come in and say jẹ́ ká lọ jà ká lọ ṣe kéde, yes, ìdí tèmi dúró lé nìyẹn, mọ̀mísí mi máa ní kí n má sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́, ìyàwó mi ní kí n má sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́, kí n fi yẹn sílẹ̀. But pé àníjà yẹn ìyẹn kò ní má wáyé, àdúrà pé kó má pọ̀ ni. But let us first work hard. How can a marine engineer be doing Okada in Ajashe in Benin Republic? This is where we come in to explain to our people that you don't need to be an Okada rider. If Nigeria was a working system, and need crude oil, that means we need a lot of ship to come into Nigeria, load the crude oil, láàrin méjì. Even a brand new car breaks down. A brand new car ó máa break down. Car tó ṣe jáde ẹ̀kọ́ máa gbà kí ló ṣe mọ́tò yìí. I've seen electric vehicle to ti break down. I've seen diesel car, petrol car. So you will need people now to come out and check it out. But nígbà tẹni tó yẹ kó chẹ́ẹ̀kì ṣíìpù tó fi wá gbọ́n epo ní Nàìjíríà ó wà ní Benin Republic ó ń gun ọ̀kadà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ ní more experience lórí field yẹn? This is where we are saying that something is not right in Nigeria. It is not working. Kò ń ṣe pé àlómi nísìn. We have the water and the crude oil. So that means many Nigerians can be trained to become marine engineer. Mo ń wo Vantage. The Indian government have issued 350 or thereabout licenses for different companies to produce, weapons, military, whatever that they will, just to open the market. I know that there's somebody doing a similar thing in Ijebu. Military vehicle and all that. But we need more and more. Moki Umar Tigiwa, Salamu alaikum. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àfáàmì tẹ́ ń wò lábẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn comment, àwọn oníwúrèdè, àwọn oníkìní kan, mo kí gbogbo yín títí dé gbogbo ilẹ̀ Haúsá. So what we are expecting is that many Yoruba people must first buy into Pafelo. Ìyá mi comfort ológun jẹ́ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa. Many Yoruba people must first buy into Yoruba láti dá dúró. But millions of them are still saying no. We prefer Nigeria, but you can't prefer Nigeria as a marine engineer. That is many out of so many other field of people that have trained as a medical doctor, as a teacher, and until we have an independent country, because Nigeria is no longer working for everybody anymore. Everybody is looking for their own interests, mostly the elite. So what we should be working on now is let's first ask our people, what do you want? Which is what we started with 3 years ago. Koiki, olùjókòó sí London o, kó máa pín tógun sílẹ̀ o. Almost on a daily basis, our people are attacked. Economic-wise, we have been attacked. Fulani, they've destroyed our own land. But in terms of the economy itself, Mambo, there was a country I posted. Let's look at Russia as an example. I was looking at the post that Mulamu posted that Denison. The Russia were strangled by the West. They purposely destroy everything because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. The question you should ask yourself is, ọ̀nà wo ni Russia wá gbà ọmọ tí Mark Dogan ilé legend sáré kà fún yín? The drill rapper, son of Mark Dogan. Mark Dogan was 13 years ago shot dead by the Metropolitan Police in London. That created one of the worst riots, at least in Tottenham. Buildings were burnt down, shops were looted, a lot of things happened, a lot of shenanigans of shit happened 13 years ago. Mark Dogan was shot dead by police 13 years ago. But something has now happened because his son, Kamani Dogan, 23 years old, who is known as Bandoki, admitted having a Tokarev pistol and a 22 bullet cartridge with intent to cause fear of violence. How many people in Nigeria today are moving with weapons and they've killed people? Intent, Lasson. His associate, Abdul Bujan, 22, from Hackney, North London, pleaded guilty to possession of a prohibited firearm and ammunition without a firearm certification and was also handed a 5-year jail term. The pair, who are associated with a North London gang, Kosibiti gang, big gang, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe náwọn cultism tó ń gbébọn káàkiri tó ń ṣe jàǹbá fáwọn èèyàn. We have them here in UK as well. But the good thing is the law will catch up on them and they will be sentenced, and hopefully they will reform while they're in prison, because that is what the prison is meant for. That is the reason why they've given them 5 years. So they will spend about 2.5 years. The remaining 2.5 years they will spend it on tag and probation and whatever, which is another job for people. But eventually, if it was a murder case, they are going in for a very long time. They expect them to be in the prison to be reformed. The prison here is to reform you. We expect you to go to the prison and come back out. I've known people that have been to the prison and they're out there doing very well with their life today. So going to the prison, depending on the crime you've committed, is not the end of the world. Okoma Lori DPS certificate, but it's nothing. Subject to the crime anyway. So let's look at the Russia one that I want to talk about. World Bank upgrade Russia to high income nation. Do you ever think that Nigeria will be a high income nation? And if yes, when? When do you think that Nigeria will be an high income nation? Kí ló ń pè ní high income nation? Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí Google. So estimating its gross income per capita at $14,250 per annum. So the average Russian citizen, Lenny, is earning close to $14,250,000. Mwangbo, my sister broadcast, the man follow Vantage. Maybe I want analysis, but the reason why it's like that is because many Russians today are now enrolling themselves to join the Russia military. You know why? Because they're earning a good money. So wealth, be wealth is spreading most of you. You want to hope where Kilodeti Yanjemi Mokia easy for the super chat is because the wealth that is meant to be spread across Nigeria is stuck somewhere and is not spreading. And if you don't spread the wealth, there will be poverty in the land, and there will be all kind of atrocities and crime building up swiftly and quickly, and there will be deprivation of life, there will be suicidal, there will be criminals, and multiple things will be happening. But the moment you spread the wealth, people will then spend the money back in the economy. But Lenin is saying most of you don't have the money to even spend. That is why you are struggling. That is why you have to come online and keep begging and begging and begging. Ẹlòmíà máa bẹ̀ fún owó bí wà tẹ́ pé responsibility tèmi ni láti fún ẹ lówó. No, tábà ti sọ pé àní nìyẹn ẹ má máa sún pa ní. We have bills to run here. We have so many things to deal with. Àwọn ọmọ ọ̀dẹ̀ lè sọ pé àwọn fi jẹ pizza nísìnyí ká sọ pé kò sówó. Wọ́n lè ní ká lọ ra ọbẹ̀ sílé kí n sọ fún ìyàwó mi pé kò dọ̀là nísìn omi ti tán nínú ilé nísìn kí wọ́n sọ fún ìyàwó mi pé mo lówó $350. Mama, then what the hell are you doing online? Go and work. So we also have responsibility, and that is why Tashitule conservative law, because they've destroyed the economy. We want to reborn the economy. No, they've taken us backwards, and we pray that hopefully the new government will look into deprivation of the lives of the people. The British people are suffering. Most of the Russian army military soldiers earn $22,000 per month. that means pé owó tó tún earn ó pọ̀ ju average cap of 14,000 per capita tí wọ́n sọ níbí báyìí. So Keke of course knows a little bit about it, which is where we learn from each other as well. Thank you so much for that update. So what I'm trying to explain to many Nigerians is that the reason why you are poor is because you are not earning enough. Wọ́n ní kó san 100,000, wọ́n ní ó ti pọ̀ jù, ó máa affect the economy, ó máa ṣe kíní. But the bastard are taking home about 30 million naira every month. Ìyẹn ò affect the economy. So World Bank ká tó padà sí, can Nigeria have an can Nigeria become an high income nation? And if it's going to become an high income nation, what is the projection? Okay, Koiki, if I want Nigeria, okay, give me the projection how long you think that Nigeria will become an high income nation. So we will be earning enough to pay our bills, to look after ourselves, and to be able to travel. At least about visa America, we can go to Kenya and go and see the lion. To the lion in Nigeria, so why are we living in denial and making it look like what we are talking about is a very difficult thing to understand? It's because most of you are just not getting the message. So this comes just 2 years after the West imposed one of the most heaviest sanctions. Additionally, Russia now has the largest GDP in terms of purchasing power parity in Europe. We'll come back to that. Meaning high income nation, and this will give us some kind of understanding, a background. A high income economy is defined by the World Bank as a country with a gross national income per capita of at least $14,000. Most Nigerians should be earning more than that today as your salary. But the reason why you are not earning such is because they want to keep everybody in a abject poverty and continue to strangle us and strangle us. Then when you die, they say you will go to heaven. I don't know how true that is, because I think they need to lot of data that was of one way Bosherini Akoboni. But the fact is that you cannot live in a country like where you are today and you cannot earn up. Most of you cannot even, the reason why Nigerians are classified as poor people, you need to be you need at least about $2 a day. And $2 a day, eloni dollar leni, katemulosi 3,000. Multiply 3,000 by 7, then multiply by 30 days, mulosi 12 days, and you must have 3,000 naira on a daily basis. Tó bá ti ní 3,000 naira on a day, kò ń ṣe pé kò ní 20,000 leni, kò dọ̀là kò má ní 3,000 no. You must have 3,000 every blessed day for the 12 years in calendar. Tó bá ti ní, you are part of those in abject poverty. And all these is a deliberate act, because with a country that has vast amount of resources, the question then is, what are they doing with our gas? What are they doing with our mineral resources? Who is making the money? Who is fooling who? What is your intention to keep Nigeria? Because you want to keep a country that doesn't value your life. You are wasting your time. If you like, pray that you get a good leader. None of them will be a good leader because they are blood-sucking monsters. So, let's go further. Which country has high income? Now, let's look at the high income countries. Number 1, Luxembourg. GDP is $143,000 per capita. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo ìlú wo ló ń pè ní Luxembourg. Kí ló ń ṣe, báwo làwọn ṣe tí wọ́n tó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Luxembourg is a small European country. Tó bá tẹ̀ mọ́ kankan tó bá ní small, nǹkan tó kéré jù, òun ló kéré jù ní Europe, ní gbogbo Europe, ní Europe tó ń wò yẹn Africa làwa wà, continent tiwa 7 náà ni wọ́n, Asia wà, but ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa ibẹ̀ lọ ní apos irọ́ ni, àwa la ní gbogbo ọrọ̀ ajé àgbáyé, but wọ́n gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ Belgium dìde kó gbogbo Congo ó kó sọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀, ó wọ kó sọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀. àwọn rò pé àwọn smart wọ́n ṣe election lánàá nísìnyí by 5 a.m. result ti jáde, àgbọ́ pé wọ́n ti gun nígò, àgbọ́ pé wọ́n ti pa, but they are telling us that káwa wà nínú ìlú táwọn create fún wa. Britain tó create ìlú, ṣe mọ̀ pé Keir Starmer, our prime minister, ó lọ kọ́kọ́ béèrè lọ gbàyè lọ́wọ́ ọba ìlú yìí pé òun fẹ́ form government, wọ́n bíbá bẹ́ẹ̀ dà kókò sọ pé òun fẹ́ lọ form government tó lọ bá King Charles. So àwọn keep the monarchy system in tó jẹ́ kí ibi tí Ọọ̀ni ọ̀fìfẹ́ wà nìyẹn, mo ṣí fìlà fún rí adé, ibi tí Ọọ̀ni láti fi wà nìyẹn, but wọ́n bà monarchy system tiwa jẹ́, wọ́n gbé Mugun lé àwa lọ́wọ́, àwa ń wá Monday káàkiri, tó bá bá di jẹ́ Monday àní Ọlọ́run jẹ́ arájé jẹ, níbo ló ti fi rájé? O ò lè rájé jẹ nínú country tó ṣiṣẹ́, irọ́ ló ń pa fún rẹ, ẹ máa jẹra yín ni. Bá di jẹ́ Monday ní sẹ́ni Ọlọ́run jẹ́ arájé, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ tìrẹ ṣe, irọ́ ni, ẹ ń ṣoògùn fúnra yín ni, ẹ ń ṣe jàǹbá fúnra yín ni, because òun wọ ẹni tó ń ta kóòkì yẹn pé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn nìkan ló ti ń ra kóòkì ni, àwa náà ń ta kóòkì, irọ́ ni o. Tó bá jẹ́ pé system tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni, ó ní láti worry. Bóun bá ń ta tiẹ̀ nínú ilé, ìwọ lè máa supply ti tiẹ̀ sí London, because ìwọ máa make forex, èmi ni màá bá yín order ti yín, màá order láti bíbá a máa channel lọ sí gbogbo African countries pẹ̀lú good logistics. Wọ́n bíbá bẹ́ẹ̀ dà kó náà travel lọ sí Kwara láti kò ní sí ogun fẹ́ pa ẹ́ ni, ọmọ tó máa pàdé lọ́nà ni. Àwọn èèyàn ń rìn ọ́, but o gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ẹni tó dúró dáadáa. Tó o bá dúró dáadáa, tó bá bí ẹ dáa, travel láti nísìn kò sọ pé òun lọ sí, tí bá pe wà látà lórí ẹbí wa nísìn pé mo fẹ́ ká sáré dé Liverpool, a ní ṣe kò sì máa ní urgent, wà láìta láìsí mọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ adọ́dọ̀ mi ní 1 hour from now, adébíbà ní by 3:30, màá dẹ̀ sọ pé màá ṣe the first driving, màá ṣe the first 2 hours, òun á gbà lọ́wọ́ mi. By 6 a.m. a máa kan Liverpool lára pẹ̀lẹ́rẹ́ burúkú pàpàpàpàpàpàpà bólógbò bá jáde lọ́nà àní pàgàn sẹ̀ bìkọ́ tó bá pa wàhálà ni. Àní Nàìjíríà ò kì í ṣe country, one bastard country ni, ìlú tó ò ní security, tó ò lè rìn nígbà tó ń wọ̀n ẹ̀. Báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ ṣe business tèmi fẹ́ ṣe Nàìjíríà logistics ni, mo fẹ́ kí mọ́tò mi máa rìn ní 12 a.m. kó dé Kwara ní òru yẹn, kó drop ọjà, kí driver mi dẹ̀ máa gbé mọ́tò bọ̀. Ṣé mo lè ṣe irú business yẹn? Why are we telling lies to ourselves? Luxembourg, gbogbo population wọn kò pé 1 million, kò ní dá fún gbogbo ẹni tó bá ní ká keep Nigeria. You're a bomb bastard. Ẹni ṣoríire. What Nigeria are we keeping? Luxembourg is 653,103 according to the World Bank in 2022, the highest GDP in the world. $143,000. Kí làwọn ṣe, kí ló ń tà, kí ló ń rà? Kí ni wọ́n ń tà, kí ló ń rà? Tí wọ́n fi ní GDP tó dá tó yẹn. Resources mélòó lọ ní? But because you are in a better position, o wá ń wọ ọmọ Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀ pé wọ́n dáa jù lọ. Ṣèbí torí pé Nàìjíríà ni náà. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà, ó jẹ́ kẹ́ máa yá wa lówó ni, kí n pé ta ló wà Nàìjíríà láàrin yín nísìn? Ẹ fún mi lórúkọ ẹni tó wà Nàìjíríà. Kí n send a message sẹ pé ẹ bá mi wá £1 million. Koiki ṣe kò sí. Ó wà o. Mortgage wọn ti fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ mi. Mo ti wà under the press. Ṣoṣọ́pọ̀ nídò. Because tó bá yẹ pé 1-to-1 là ń lò ní, it will be easy for you to send me £1 million. Òjò yẹn rọ̀ gan. Tó bá jẹ́ pé 1-to-1 lówó, 1 million naira will be £1 million. But because we are where we are today, we have been deceived. Go and love Nigeria. Go and die for Nigeria. Nigeria is going to work. It is in a working mode. Rome was not built in one day. All those lies, we can't buy them anymore. We don't want to be Nigeria. We want to have an independent Yoruba nation. We don't want to be traveling to Europe to look for safety nets. We want to remain in our land and build it. Mo ń bá bàbá mi kan sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá nígbà tí mo fẹ́ lọ vote. Ta ló mọ Ìlá-Àrọ̀gùn? Ọ̀ṣun state ló wà. I would prefer to even live in Ìlá-Àrọ̀gùn than pé kí n lọ gbé ní Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde. If I can create my wealth in a Yoruba country in that part of the world, just for tourism, Ìlá-Àrọ̀gùn, I would love to live there for tourism. Tí ma set up office mi Koikimedia, ma san tax from government. Àwọn tó fẹ́ wá sí Ìlá-Àrọ̀gùn, àwa la máa lọ máa welcome wọn, because mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ lóòtẹ́ẹ̀lì for 15 years. Àwọn tó bá lóòtẹ́ẹ̀lì, táwọn ọba tẹ̀ lóòtẹ́ẹ̀lì, a máa bá yín manage. I don't think some of you understand the opportunity that is coming. Ẹ kàn ń wo bí ìgbà tó yẹ pé ìtagbé dání pé kò possible. Luxembourg ti bá sọ pé mo ní ẹṣẹ́ gan ni, ọmọ Annie sọ pé Koiki mo mọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ dáadáa. Ọ̀ṣun state ló wà. Bàbá yẹn àjọ ń ṣe Yorùbá nation ni. Wọ́n kọ́ wá pè mí lánàá, mo ṣe ń gbọ́ ẹ o. Àwa dúró tán o. Torí bàbá yẹn ní 90, wọ́n nígbà tí Yar'Adua wà lórí oyè lọ́lọ́run ti fún àwọn pé Nàìjíríà máa pín. Pásítọ̀ làwọn náà. Wọ́n nígbà tí Yar'Adua wà lórí oyè lọ́lọ́run ti sọ fún àwọn pé Nàìjíríà máa pín. So I pity many of you that doesn't know what we have. Mélòó ni Luxembourg? Ṣé mọ̀ pé tá bá lọ population Ọ̀ṣun state, ó máa ju Luxembourg lọ. That means we can make money in a country of our own that is well developed. But àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá náà wọ́n fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n náà wọ́n fẹ́ inú ìdọ̀tí tájọ wà náà yẹn. Tí kò sí safety, no education. 1948 paper tànà lélẹ̀. The Labour government introduced the National Health Service tó ń pè ní NHS. Ibẹ̀ ni gbogbo wa ń bímọ sí. Ẹni tó bá lówó ló ń bímọ sí private hospital nílùú yìí. O ní dẹ̀. Public ti wọ enough because bí a ní sìn ṣá ni àwọn conservative ti bàjẹ́, and we hope the Labour will revive it back. That is how all the general hospital across Yoruba land should be. Standard, a working one. Gbogbo àwọn ìyá wa comfort ológun jà, gbogbo àwọn mothers wa, àwọn aunties wa, 14-12 hours on the shift, working back to back. Then we will now be sending that money to Nigeria to support the people when there's people that are there that are also ready to work. They can do. Only sister wa kan tó wà ní UAE, Janet, máa play orin wa kan nísìn. She reached out to me, and it seems that even after she has done so much for us, ó kọrin kan náà fún Olóyè Ìgbòho. A máa ń lo orin wọn nígbà yẹn. Mo realize pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá bí àwọn tí ni, most of us did not subscribe to our YouTube channel. We didn't support her. So she has few things that she's putting together, that she will eventually send me the link. I want to keep joking bẹ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. We can bá wọn lọ subscribe to the channel àwọn YouTube channel wọn. A máa play orin wọn kan nísìn. Janet, ma show you, ma send the link to YouTube channel yẹn. I post it síta. Mo bẹ̀ wá. She has just less than 500 subscribers. For somebody that dedicated the music for Olóyè Ìgbòho and for the Yoruba people. I'm talking about when we started this movement. Ó wọnú studio lọ ṣorin fún wa ni. Ẹ dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ní UAE, nígbà tí kò fi máa lọ ṣe ṣìnà bí tàwọn ẹlòmíì, ìlú yẹn wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ o, but ẹ mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ UAE wọ́n rìn ní fún wọn, so she's just preparing the ground for whatever eventuality. So she's trying to promote what she needs to do to make earnings. So mo bẹ̀ gbogbo wa ẹ bá wa gbọ́wọ́lé channel wọn ká support wọn. She was very dedicated and she is still up to date. So I play kan náà àwọn orin wọn àwa padà sórí program tá n bá lọ so that Malaysia ẹyin báwo la ṣe máa wá ṣe báyìí wọn sí. ẹ jẹ́ wo bí a mọ̀ lè lo fóònù kan nínú kan náà fóònù nílò àwọn platform tàbí ṣe program yẹn. Password ilé. Nígbà yẹn ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ password àwọn ẹ̀. If not, I'm managing. All right, let's do this one. Ẹ jẹ́ n lọ lórí TV mi. A lọ wo lórí TV. Because tí bá play lórí laptop, àwọn kan ní gbọ́, àwọn kan máa gbọ́. Sister Janet lórúkọ wọn. You know, Janet Arabani. You know, the music was very powerful that she did for Oloyegbo nígbà yẹn. So I'm not going to Tabatin play. I'll share a link here that will come back to the program. We've done 1 hour 33 minutes. We'll see how much time I can do before we call it a night. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé àkó ìjókòó àkó weekend. Let's come back out. Let's go back here. Okay, we're going. Okay, Janet Arabani. I'll share a link one. I'm sure many of you will remember the music anyway. Mo bẹ̀ wá bá wa gbọ́ wọlé kíni wọn. So we're gonna share the link while the music is playing. Her name is Janet Arabani on the YouTube. Link one in send sit and ever follow her, please. We've got to push that to 1,000 subscribers. Tó bá dọ̀la máa show video yẹn lọ́la properly. Àwa fi pa sílé, fi pa gbogbo sílé. A máa post ẹ̀ náà sórí, a ti post ẹ̀ sórí Twitter wa lórí X. Ẹ bá wa lọ gbọ́wọ́lé link wọn yẹn kẹ́ follow ẹ̀ please. Bó ṣe ń pa wá, ṣó dá bó ṣe ń pa wá. 2 years ago orin yẹn ti ń pé 3 years nísìn ó wọnú studio lọ́kọ́ fún wa ni ṣé wàá da káde ẹmọ kó jáwọ́. Araba ní gbogbo àwòrán ilá. After this we continue the program. Beloro Lesenberg and the other things they're talking about. Moki Walan can say Mrs. Cherry Coco Moki Ọlọ́pàá ló ń lọ yẹn security. Èmi kí ẹ mọ yìnyín. Akíkanjú ni Ìgbòho ṣá kábíyèsí ẹ̀ àti bàbá Akíntóyè kábíyèsí Elédùmarè àwọn èèyàn ńláńlá. Tó bá ní wọ gbìyànjú ìwọ náà wá ṣe tó ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. So link yẹn ni mo ti post síta yẹn ó ń bọ̀ lórí ibẹ̀ yẹn ìyá mi Fágbémilékè mo bẹ̀ wá ẹ jẹ́ n post it because when she called me yesterday you know she's still working in Dubai but she's a bit worried that they might not, as we all know, will renew paper on in Dubai. So the tendency that she might not be there very long. So she's now preparing her mind in case of any loss in Nigeria. So just for us to quickly have some kind of extra revenue, we realized that our YouTube channel, she doesn't have enough followers. So I said to her, I will try to make sure that we push it on our platform on her behalf, which is what I'm doing tonight. And I'll do that as much as I can remember. So mo bẹ̀ wá gbogbo ẹni tó bá gbọ́ program ìdébí báyìí níbi tá a sọ̀rọ̀ dé ẹ bá wa lọ sí YouTube channel yẹn. Orúkọ YouTube channel yẹn náà ni Janet Voices Adekola tí a mọ̀ sí Arabani. They call Janet Arabani. I'll share the name bó ṣe wà lórí channel wọn. Àṣàkọ Mr. Samuel Natalie Ekaro, only God Almighty will bless you and your family for the great work you are doing. Ọlọ́run ní ká dúpẹ́ fún sá. Mr. Oke Káyọ̀dé Mokin, so orúkọ sister wa náà ni mo ti post ẹ̀ mú bẹ̀ wá. Let us go and support her. At least, you know, she did this for Olóyè Ìgbòho. Very loyal. Ó wọnú studio lọ́kọ́ ni. Ẹ ká continue. No going back. Of a dàrú. Orin mẹ́ta lọ́kọ lọ ṣe fún wa nígbà yẹn ń bọ̀. Wọ́n ṣe lé wọ́n ṣe orílẹ̀-èdè mi wọ́n tún wá ṣe Yorùbá nation. 3 different songs. And she only had 392 subscribers. Àwọn tó tẹ̀ bá wa ṣe Yorùbá nation gbogbo fídíò Olóyè Ìgbòho ló ti jí tó ń lò lórí page wọn. And I want to speak to Chief tomorrow to do something, even if she is going to speak sometime and gbé sórí page wọn. I'll call Chief tomorrow. Bàbá mi ṣe one small nice video kó jù sórí page wọn. Àwọn tó tẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá tó follow wa rárá gbogbo fídíò Chief pátápátá ló ti lò lórí page wọn ló ti fi ní subscription. Màá bẹ̀ Chief lọ́la agbára Ọlọ́run kò jí wa sáyé. Wọ́n ní kí Chief bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ náà. Just maybe 2-minute video kan a gbé sórí page wọn yẹn àmú traffic yẹn wá jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ìtókù. Yẹ ká ronú nísìn ká get the shit out of Nigeria, ká get out as quickly as possible. Ọ̀dàlẹ̀ yìí náà ni àwọn kan fẹ́ fà sílẹ̀ àwọn ọmọbi tán kan ní àwọn ọmọbi tán kó wa lọ àwọn ọmọbi tán kó yín lọ. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀bẹ̀ lẹ́pọ̀n méjì ni ẹ̀yin náà lọ ṣe tí Ìgbòho ṣe náà àti bàbá Akíntóyè. Ẹni àmọ́ máa share gbogbo link wọn yẹn mo ti share the first one, the second one mo share lọ yìí. Tó bá ní ọmọ tán ọmọbi tán kó yín lọ ẹ̀yin náà ṣe tí yín náà ọmọbi tán kó yín lọ. Ṣẹ́yìn mọ̀ pé táktọ̀ bá ti kú fíìmù ti tán nìyẹn. Táktọ̀ bá ti kú kò sí fíìmù mọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó lóyà pa Janet ó wọnú stúdíò lọ ṣe orin fún wa nígbà yẹn ni dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run. so gbogbo link wọn ni mò ń post yẹn orin mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn so ẹ bá wa gbọ́wọ́ lè mú bẹ̀ wá ní àṣàkọ rárá o àṣàkọ àtọ́. Ó yà mí lẹ́nu. À ń béèrè Yorùbá nation àwọn tó ń dá wa padà sẹ́yìn. Àtẹ̀dúpẹ́ pé àwọn àgbààgbà ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ nígbà yẹn àwọn àgbààgbà yẹn ò sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀dákẹ́ kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. Àwọn àgbààgbà kan ṣì ń parọ́ àwọn governors yẹn àwọn àbá òfò. Alábà ní gbogbo àwọ̀ láì gbọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni Ọlọ́run náà ń dé àṣìṣe gbogbo yín mọ́ṣẹ́ tó bá di 2 o'clock a parí program yìí ká lè lọ sùn ká lè ní strength lọ́la láyé ọ̀rọ̀ lọ. Kò ní ìwé báyẹn ní ìwé gbàgbé. Ẹ má yẹ kó tiri tí ń bàjẹ́. Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. Okòkè ẹ ṣé gan ni àwọn tó náà ti subscribe Mr. TJ wọn náà ti lọ subscribe gbogbo ẹni tó bá gbọ́ program yìí tẹ́ ẹ bá subscribe á jẹ́ pé tí mo lè tún bẹ́yìn èyí náà ṣe àgbọ́nrin tó ń kọjá dé ṣé ilé orin gan a máa ń play gbà kan àkàn tó play mọ́ ni. Ṣebí àgùntàn gan sọ pé ṣebí kò sódodo mọ́ Nàìjíríà. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi náà rántí lọ subscribe ẹ tó ẹ lè má rántí ni ẹ lọ bá wa subscribe. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Tokyo òmìnira ni ó wọnú studio ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tó lọ play the second one yẹn ká tó máa 2 o'clock máa parí program yẹn so ká lè ní strength àpò tó wá tó dọ̀la back to back. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ilé nígbà àtọkọ ilé Yorùbá nation lélẹ̀ ká gbọ́ ilé náà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí advert yẹn lọ. Mo bẹ̀wẹ̀ bá wa lọ gbọ́wọ́lé subscription ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Koiki Odùduwà máa post link yẹn náà nísìn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká advert yẹn lọ jàre. Mo bẹ̀ wá ní àṣàkọ rárá ẹ mọ̀ for somebody that have supported us ẹ yẹ káwa náà lọ support wọn. That's the only thing we can do. Advert lọ máa play then we will just wrap up the program in the next 20 minutes. Oh yeah, ẹ ká gbọ́ nísìnyí. The same person náà lè lè. Yorùbá nation ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi Fagbemilékè. Yorùbá nation la fẹ́ Nàìjíríà ò fowó. Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. No, Tinubu mà tí reply wa kò dá wa lóhùn Mr. Favour Ayinla so Tinubu dá wa lóhùn kò respond. Èmi sọ wípé kò ní respond níta máa ṣe ó kù díẹ̀ ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣáà yẹ ká tẹ̀lé nǹkan táwọn àgbààgbà wa sọ tó jẹ́ àwọn leaders wa Bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ Yorùbá nation yẹn díẹ̀ sí i fi sáré poster sí bíbá yẹn. Yorùbá nation mo kí o gbọ́n yẹn àfàtẹ́wà lórí ètò pẹ̀lú wa àdúrà wa gbàsà. Thank you Peter Pan, thank you so much. Do you hear that? Ẹ ò gbà tó ti kọrin yẹn. Yorùbá nation. Thank you so much those of you that have subscribed. Yes, she's producing some few more albums. I think she told me that on Facebook, sorry, not YouTube. They're like so as soon as those ones are out, we'll be sharing the link. But this particular YouTube channel, I told her that we will try and push it to at least 1,000 subscribers. But the page of it alone is a complete different one from YouTube, just to promote her music. So there's an album coming out, I believe. but at least let's tẹ́ bá ti subscribe sí ilé á easy fún wa láti mọ̀ wọ́n dáadáa, so please Mr. TJ ẹ ṣé gan ni. Yorùbá nation la fẹ́, Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. Gbàs. Yorùbá nation la fẹ́, Yorùbá nation la fẹ́, Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, ó ti lọ sí 400. So tí gbogbo ẹni tó bá wo program mi mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé at least I will have at least about nothing less than 5,000 people. Mo mọ̀ pé àwọn onítìrí ò ní subscribe. Ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ ń follow onítìrí mọ̀ pé ẹ wà lábẹ́ program kéde Koiki tó fẹ́ sọ. Mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin ò ní subscribe, but no matter. But èyí tó kù tẹ́ jẹ́ bí 4,000 nínú 5,000 ẹ bá wa subscribe. Ọlọ́run bá wa pẹ̀lú yín. Ẹ̀yin náà ṣáà gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń kọjá dé nísìn. Ọkọ̀ àpàlà ọkọ̀ bíi zazu Yorùbá nation la fẹ́, wọ́n ti kí olóyè àgbọ̀ ilé chinchin sí, màá lọ play the last one then màá ṣe extra mọ́. Màá sọ fáwọn tó kù náà, màá sọ fún masbin náà, màá sọ fáwọn tó kù náà so that kọ́ lè bá wa, màá sọ fún Dr. Zabi náà. Dr. Zabi náà new page wọn náà mo promote ó dà pé kí ní kan àjùlọ ẹ̀jọ̀ bá wa follow wọn ẹ̀wọ̀n pé gbóhùn tá a fi ń ṣe program yìí òun náà ni. Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. Àṣẹ wọn Nàìjíríà mọ́ ẹ̀wògbà tó ti kọrin yẹn, gbogbo tó ń ṣe kan náà ó sì ń reflect the citizen. Òṣì yẹn pọ̀ ni ẹ̀yàn wa jẹ́ tó ń pa wá, ebi ń pa wá, ìyà ń jẹ wá. Very powerful voice tó tún fine gan sef. No retreat, no surrender. Dùwà ń pariwo. Ó dà pé ó sàmì náà ní bíbá kí gbogbo àwọn mídíà. Yorùbá World Congress nígbà tá a sì jẹ́ Yorùbá World Congress kó tó di pé àwọn tájú ìdínà lórí burúkú ọ̀dà gbogbo ẹ̀rù. Yorùbá One Voice. Òkè èyí dára náà kí o. Akíntóyè. Mo kí ẹ Silver Badmus ọ̀nà tó subscribe. Ó kí àwọn vigilante náà OPC. Even though pé a mọ̀ pé bá Gani Adams ò bá wá ṣe Yorùbá nation ó sì kí wọn. A lọ pè wọ́n wá. Ìjà ọmọ Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà o. Ẹnu ni gbogbo ọjọ́ wa yẹn. Gbogbo wa ṣì ń gbóhùn sókè. Flag gbèdà. Akíntóyè bàbá ń pariwo. Good night to Nigeria. Bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. Ṣe rí ẹ má wọrí mo ṣe ní strength tí o ti bá tẹ̀sán pé 20 minutes gan strength ṣe wà díẹ̀. Sójà ọ̀dẹ̀ kì í sùn. Ìyàwó mi nìkan ló mọ̀ pé sójà kì í sùn nílé mi. So ṣé wọ́n pé bí labour náà ṣe wàhálà títí tọ́lọ́ ń gbàdúrà wọn wọ́n jókòó kọ́ ní ọlọ́run máa ṣe labour bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí make campaign wọ́n sọ tí conservative ti ṣe tó ti báyé jẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ilé táwa náà sọ pé àwọn politicians ti báyé jẹ́ yẹn so eventually tó máa collapse Nàìjíríà nìyẹn kò dìgbà tá a bá gbé ìbọn táwọn nìkan fi bára wa jà mo kí gbogbo aláǹkan sí ẹni tó ń bá kùn ẹni ráìtẹ́ lọ sùn àwọn ohun tí kùn á ń ṣe fàájì lọ ó yá gbóhùn sókè Janet à ń ṣe fàájì lọ́wọ́ àkọ́mọ tí ní ẹ̀ka máa fọ́ títẹ̀ ni ó kí bàbá rò pọ̀ rí ó máa kèmí náà bye bye to Nigeria Dara talk show ó sì ń faraya látànà ṣé wọ́n Nàìjíríà mọ́ Citizen AY ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa Ọláyọmí àbí Koikimedia náà àti gbóhùn sókè good night to Nigeria good night to rédèrèdè bàbá lẹ́kìtì bàbá dáadáa Máyégún general ó tún kí Máyégún ní Scotland Nàìjíríà ò fò Nàìjíríà kọ́ Nàìjíríà ni àtẹ̀rẹ́ àwọn sísítà wa mọ́ wọ́n ti busy pẹ́ńsù lásán Nàìjíríà ò lè produce ìlú òfò Mr. Favour ilé ìtàtí she's pretty àwọn ọgbà àwọn obìnrin yẹn ọmọ Yorùbá ló pretty Alabi Samuel mo kí ẹ wọ́n ní we are coming out very soon bẹ́ẹ̀ ni just like bá ṣe lé conservative lọ yes she's a very pretty woman you know very very pretty woman. You know, I was able to sort out a few things yesterday, but my bad chief sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́la lágbára Ọlọ́run. Wọ́n ní kó bá mi endorse ẹ lọ subscribe. Tolo ìbàdàn ti fẹ́ mu lẹ́ẹ̀bá àwọn ẹ̀ máa tẹ̀lé ni. Ìgbowó òòṣà. Irú mọ̀lẹ̀ tó ń jẹ́ táìtáì. Irú mọ̀lẹ̀. The number one. Kó lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ dáadáa fún wa. Ẹ fẹ́ kọ́ pàtó. Hàn kọ́ bá ti pàtó kò sí fíìmù nìyẹn. Tinubu gọmọ pa actor wa nìyẹn a máa protect ẹ ní a máa ragabo actor wa ní. ṣe ń gbọ́ wọ́n ní EastEnders wọ́n ní field wọ́n ná party EastEnders ìyàwó mi ní pé EastEnders ọ̀bọ̀ kan wà ń bẹ wọ́n pè ní field EastEnders ẹ̀ kéré ọlọ́run mọ́tò tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ actor ẹ̀ lè gbá ẹ̀ bá ti pa actor fíìmù ti tán nìyẹn Many people are listening and taking all discussions seriously. Okay, yes, she's a very pretty woman. So ẹ ká lọ gbọ́ the last one ká torí ilé táwọn èèyàn ti tún mú lọ sẹ́gbò mi Mr. Favour gbẹ̀yìn lẹ́ máa béèrè nọ́mbà lọ́wọ́ mi nísìnyàn lẹ́ máa béèrè nọ́mbà sísítà mi lọ́wọ́ mi ẹ̀ ní fún anybody nọ́mbà kẹ́ máa lọ máa pè wọ́n lẹ́yìn kẹ́ máa lọ máa disturb wọn. ṣé ẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣì wà live ká bèsè Elédùmarè back to back ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbọ́ the last one. Orílẹ̀-èdè mi ni the last one ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ the last one yẹn náà the last one yẹn náà dùn gan ẹ ká jẹ́ ká advert yẹn lọ so adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo èèyàn wa lẹ́ǹkan sí pé a sì máa ṣe one or two okay advert yẹn ti tán ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ilé náà díẹ̀ sí ilé náà dùn gan àlùjọ lélẹ̀ ọ̀yà àlùjọ our politician ìfọ́ni tẹ bá rí leave them leader tẹ bá rí bó ṣe ń jó lẹ́nì àbí lánàá kí àmì our politicians yẹn they no dey gree o tẹ bá rí bó ṣe ń jó they got 71 MPs the best of what they've got in the last 100 years 71 ṣèyí tẹ́ ń rò pé Yorùbá nation yóò ní ṣẹ́ríjọ́ tó bá dé yẹn ẹlòmíràn kan pa àmọ́ àti wà náà lóòótọ́ bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. But it has to be a lot of work and dedication. And without, àwọn tó believe in Labour Party nísìn àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n gbà wọ́n gbọ́ ẹ wo David Lammy mo ti mọ David Lammy yẹn nísìn for more than 24 years ní Tottenham ó ti di foreign secretary David Lammy òun ló máa jákẹ́tà káàkiri nísìn. So ìgbìyànjú tá à ń ṣe nísìn tó bá ti materialize bẹ́ẹ̀ ni leave them 70 wọ́n àní ní àdúgbò àwọn conservative ìyẹn máa ń wọ́n dẹ̀yìn tẹ́ máa ń sọ pé a máa gbọ́ the last one kápọ̀ tó padà sórí program there but some of you that keep saying Nigeria I just wonder that they ẹ jẹ́ ń gbé flag yìí kúrò kó ó ń block view there the conservative stronghold ẹ̀wọ̀n tán pé nǹkan ní stronghold àdúgbò àwọn kan sá gangan àwọn àdúgbò wọn gangan tó yẹ pé stronghold wọn tó yẹ pé no they don't vote for Labour gbogbo wọn tẹ̀ka fún Labour ni so Yorùbá nation tá à ń sọ yìí for some of us it's like Koiki ẹ ṣọ́ọ̀pù kìíní ó lè bọ́ sí ṣá a máa ní Ọbásanjọ́ kó bá wa dá sí yes tó bá dá sí tó favour wa but tó bá dá sí pé kò ní favour wa agbásẹ́gbẹ́ ni táwọn àgbàlagbà tó jẹ́ politicians tó bá jáde tán pé yes in táwọn ọmọ wa fẹ́ la máa tẹ̀lé wọn why not we will love them we appreciate them but kíkan máa jáde pé Nàìjíríà èpè la máa ṣẹ́ fún gbogbo yín èpè ńláńlá but look at how the Labour Party were able to push mo sọ fún yín pé tíyẹn bá máa bímọ tuntun àwọn ìyá mi Fágbémi lékè àwọn ọmọ kan tí mò ń sọ àwọn tó ń jẹ́ lọ hospital wọn yà push but push yẹn kò ń ṣe kó àwọn ayin ilé kan náà ọkọ̀ Nàìjíríà yà push wọ́n ayin ilé kan náà wèrè ṣé mi mọ ní kí wà tọkọ ẹ bára yín sùn tẹ̀ fi lóyún wọn máa jalè kan náà àwọn nọ́ọ̀sì kà ní Nàìjíríà bọ̀ ní bíbá àwọn ẹ̀ sọ bọ̀ tọ́wọ́ wá rí pé push yẹn kò jáde dáadáa wàá fún ẹ lábẹ́rẹ́ tó ń pè ní epidural so Nigerian politician ẹ jẹ́ ká rọra push ẹ má yẹ ká ṣe CS ẹ má yẹ ká gba abẹ́rẹ́ epidural ẹ jẹ́ ká push ká gba Yorùbá nation bọ̀ tó bá ti di pé a ti ń ṣe CS a ti ń gba abẹ́rẹ́ ọmọ ẹ̀wọ̀n nìyẹn pátá ìníwọ̀ kúrò nílé yín so the best bet is for us Mr. Labino ni she's so a beautiful woman Mr. Oh yeah, she's a very beautiful ẹlòmíì tẹ gbọ́ rí pé a play orin yìí rí these were first set of music àkọ́kọ́ ń gbọ́ nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation you know and we're grateful that you know she's still doing very well but ẹ bá push a platform wọn so yẹ ká kọ́ gbọ́n ni wọn the last verse díẹ̀ sí ká wá máa lọ ní program. ṣẹ̀rí nísìn pé ìtàn ṣe nìyẹn à ń polongo níbi tá a ti ń polongo yẹn àwọn kan nírọ́ ni gbogbo àwọn tó polongo fún labour nísìn tán ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn àwọn náà máa jẹ́ ń bẹ̀ àwa tá a ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ a ní conservative fi kó àwọn èèyàn lọ sí Rwanda how can you apply for asylum in this country ìyàwó mi ní ṣó make sense ó wá láti Africa ó sá kúrò láfíríkà wọ́n tún wá ń gbé lọ sí Africa pé kó lọ so even the fact that even if you don't even believe in Labour Party but the fact that we've been able to stop the conservative taking our people because lára àwọn èèyàn wọn náà máa wà affected gbogbo àwọn náà láwọn tó ṣì ń sort ìwé wọn out kọ́ ló bá wọn yanjú gbogbo àwọn tí a ṣe ń wáwé lamẹ́ríkà ní Canada ní gbogbo ibi tá a bá wà wọ́n ní Dubai wọ́n fún wọn níwèé Saudi Arabia wọ́n fún wọn níwèé Turkey níbi tí jìlẹ̀ wà wọ́n fún wọn níwèé wọ́n máa ń ṣe renew wà ní wọ́n máa renew ẹ̀ sọ wọn náà promise jìlẹ̀ lamẹ́ríkà ọ̀bídà kò lè gba visa yìí láti Turkey ó máa padà lọ Nàìjíríà ni kò dé lè lọ Nàìjíríà torí pé wọ́n ní country tó ń parọ́ pé àwọn ti gba country àwọn gbáde lédè àdúgbò olóògbà sí one bastard ẹni tí kòkòrò rìn lórí ẹ̀ Wálé Àlè gan tó níwèé gan kò lè lọ́lé Wálé Àlè tó níwèé nílùú yìí ẹni kó padà lọ sí country kó padà lọ sí IDP country wọn dry nation èyí wà Nàìjíríà èèyàn ń gba pound sterling ní ó náà ti gba country ní Nàìjíríà ẹ̀rí pé kòkòrò ń ta wọ́n lórí and we have people praying and following them lórúkọ Jésù Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ṣeé ṣe ládùúgbò polongo náà ká prepare mind àwọn èèyàn a máa parí ètò yìí láìpẹ́ yìí ó yá gbóhùn sókè yéè ìntafẹ́ la fẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá èmi yóò polongo fáráyé èmi kí ló ń pa Ìdòwú Matthew lérè kí ló pẹ́ lẹ́rìn alábòsí ní Ìdòwú Matthew kí ló pẹ́ lẹ́rìn ṣé mo parọ́ ni èèyàn wà London ó ń gba pound sterling ìyẹn Wálé Àlè ṣé kòkòrò rìn lórí ẹ̀ ó wá ń sọ fún wọn tó wà Nàìjíríà pé ẹ máa ti gba country mo mọ báwọn kan ṣe gọ̀ṣẹ́ tó wà Nàìjíríà yẹn ẹ sọ fún òun tó ń pa pounds yẹn pé kó máa bọ̀ nílé kẹjọ máa pa owó ìlú yẹn Instagram yẹn ti tán jẹ́ amatẹ dúpẹ́ pọ́lá yọ Instagram ó máa ti balance ó máa fún wa ní long time nísìnyí kò tẹ̀ kú bí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ìyá mi fẹ́ Davis ẹ wà lórí program pẹ̀lú mi àbí ẹ bá ń dá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni Wálé Àlè náà ti gba pa ẹ̀yẹ ká ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ díẹ̀ orun kúkú ti kùn mí orun wá dẹ̀ ń kùn mí máa pa program mi mo dẹ̀ lè sùn sórí show yìí sójà ọ̀dẹ̀ kì í sùn Ọlọ́run ìyàwó mi mọ̀ ìyá mi fẹ́ David I have downloaded her since 2 years ago when you were constantly playing her music on YouTube Janet is very talented Ọlọ́run a ṣe máa tùǹgbà ní a máa play orin yẹn òun la máa fi Akeem Ayédélé mo kí ẹ ẹni tó bá fẹ́ pè wọlé ẹ lè pè wọlé, wọn Koiki ò ń jẹ́ ká pè wọlé, ẹ lè pè wọlé, ẹ pè wọlé. Àwọn tó kọ̀ wá lórí Instagram ló máa affected mi. Wálé Àlè náà ti gba country ó náà ti gba country, ó jókòó sí London, ó ń pa pound sterling. Mo mọ̀ bí àyàwó ẹ̀ wà níbí, bí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wà níbí, I don't know, nìkan kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ family ẹ̀. Ẹ wá bá mi sọ fún Wálé Àlè pé nígbà tí wọ́n ti gba country yẹn, kó relocate padà lọ sílé, kó lọ sínú country yẹn, kó lọ máa bá wọn fọwọ́ kún gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wọn lọ́hùn, kó lè máa náwó ìlú yẹn, kó yé máa ná pound sterling mọ́. Ìjìnlẹ̀ owó Turkey, owó wọn ti wọ́ mi gbẹ̀m, so owó tó ń fún àwọn tó wà lábẹ́ wọn, owó tó ń fún lòun fi ń survive, ló fi ń sanwó ilé, ó fi ń survive because lira lẹ́nì ṣojú lòrùn àbí mọ́tò kan wọlé. Ṣe rí owó tí wọ́n ná ní Turkey, lira ló ń pè, lira ọ̀tẹ̀ ń pè ní Turkey mọ́ nísìnyí, Turkiya ló máa ń pè. Ìlú tíjìlẹ̀ wà yẹn, inflation tó wà nílùú yẹn Ọlọ́run ló ní pé kán ti invest owó dáadáa nígbà tí wọ́n ní owó lọ́wọ́. Gbogbo tèmi ti gbẹ nígbà tí wọ́n kámẹ́rà báyìí máa rí pé ó ti dry. Kíní dẹ̀ tí wọ́n nísìn £1 kí ni mo rà náà, 3 ni mo rà níjọ́ tí mo lọ ra the last one, cause tí bá ti rà bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àtàwọn ọmọ ọdún alájà máa ń já kẹmọ́ra wa, so mo á ra 3, mo tọ́jú ẹ̀ káàkiri inú báàgì mi for like almost a week kan mo rántí rà, mo wá ń wá káàkiri. So kẹrí ibi tíjìlẹ̀ wà ní Turkey yẹn, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí ìwọ tó ń wò mí kọ́ lè fún ẹ ní visa Turkey. Tó bá débẹ̀ wàá rí pé wọ́n fún yàn níṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ anybody níṣẹ́, iṣẹ́ ò ló fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Tó bá tẹ̀ tó máa wá ṣiṣẹ́ wàá lọ kọ́ èdè, ẹ̀mí àfẹ́ ẹ̀ bọ́. Mo ní mo sì máa sọ story Turkey yẹn bọ̀ kò ń ṣe nísìn, mo sì dé sí kúlà dáadáa. Ìjọ tí bá máa ṣí worms Turkey fún yín, ìgbà ilẹ̀ máa mọ̀ pé gbogbo tíjìlẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn jágbajàgba ló ń sọ. Ẹ̀ torí ọ̀pẹ ẹ sọ pé mo ní orí ẹ̀ kò pé rárá, torí tó bá jẹ́ orí ẹ̀ pé ni tó jẹ́ ọkùnrin lòun, tí kò ṣe pé Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì ti mú ẹkùn ẹ̀ tó ń ra róbóróbó nísàlẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ gbéyàwó sílé, kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe Turkey citizen, ọmọ Nàìjíríà dẹ̀ níyàwó ẹ̀, kò mo ti bá yàwó ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ through chat nígbà tó mú yẹn, ọmọ Nàìjíríà lẹ́ni tó fẹ́, so kò ń ṣe pé ó níwèé Turkey. Ìyàtọ̀ Turkey kan ni pé Turkey ṣì ń ṣe rìn níwájú Dubai lọ, UAE, but UAE wọ́n ń sọ ṣọ́àṣọ́ òyìnbó díẹ̀díẹ̀, but Arab ló ń sọ, but ní Turkey náà àwọn náà èdè ló ń sọ, they have their own language. But the beauty of Turkey is that tourism is still booming. Yeah, me David. Yes, so Wale should go back to his nation and be there pushing their president. Àwọn àgbàlagbà dìdìrín jókòó sórí YouTube àti gba country. Mo ṣẹ́tẹ̀ ráwọn tó wà lábroad mo blame àwọn ṣẹ́rẹ́ ìtẹ̀wà ń lé yẹn ẹ máa sọ fún wọn pé kọ́ padà wálé náà kẹjọ wá ṣe government. Look, má ní o gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi o, labour lánàá tó wọlé gbogbo ala rí pé àwọn kámẹ́rà wọn ní new government wọlé àbí ó ti yàn appoint àwọn cabinet ta ni defence minister country àwọn Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì orí yín ó pè rárá Ọlọ́run ẹgbẹ́ tẹ́ ń fọ́lò wọn dìdìrín ní òmùgọ̀ nìyí. Ẹ má bínú pa tó yí àbàrà síbẹ̀ lálẹ́ èèyàn mi, dìdìrín dánú ni gbogbo yín. Ta ni ibo ni CBN yín wà, ibo ni Central Bank of Yorùbá Nation yín wà, ẹ̀yin ọ̀dẹ̀, ibo ni constitution yín wà, ẹ̀yin òmùgọ̀, ẹ̀yin dìdìrín. àwa ọmọ kí ló máa tẹ̀ ń pèrè ẹ̀yẹn náà, àwọn ọmọ àdúgbò ló máa ń pèrè ẹ̀ náà, máa ń pèrè lọ́mọ Èkó kinní kan, ìyẹn Wálé Àlè yẹn, very stupid. ṣáwọn yẹn báwo ló ti ṣe wọ London wọn sef, nírú àwọn yẹn báwo lọ ṣe fún wọn ní visa wọ London. àwọn tá lọ ṣe interview tàfi dé lu yìí mo ṣe wá rí pé ìyàtọ̀ wà pẹ̀lẹ́ ìtẹ́ lọ́n ṣe drop because kò ń ṣe gbogbo ìlọ ẹ̀kọ́ fún visa wọ̀ lu yìí kò sí ní lọ ṣe interview l'Abuja ni òyìnbó ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ nínú QBQ. Why are you going to but nísìnyí yẹn kàn ṣe drop off èyí jẹ yóò jẹ dẹ ni àwọn ọmọ tó dẹ̀ máa lo visa yín àwọn yẹn wà níbi dùngbà nísìnyí tó ń jó dùngbà lọ́wọ́ nínú club ó tún dijọ́ Monday tó bá débi iṣẹ́ láàgbà oh my God Nigerian again oh shit akọ̀wò kìíní ẹ̀ ìwọ tọ́lọ̀ bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ kẹ́ akọ̀ lónìí tó bá ti wá lù ìwà wa lọ dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún pásítọ̀ ẹ̀ pé pásítọ̀ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ máa wọ UK ẹ̀yìn àdúrà tẹ ṣe sórí passport yẹn passport èwo ń bẹ Nigerian passport kọ́ lọ ẹ mú wá British passport lẹ mú wá ṣe ìyẹn lè gbé passport gbé British passport ẹ lọ fún pastor kó ṣàdúrà sí pé ó fẹ́ gba visa lọ sí Canada èpè ló máa ṣe fún ẹ. imagine kó gbé American passport ó wá gbé lọ fún àfà wa ní kíni kó n fi nínú American bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni o what do you want me to do with this? Imagine Kizzy ẹ̀gbọ́n mi òun ní American passport ẹ̀ òun American mọ̀ ni ó ti fi wọ̀n mi rí òkè ó ní àwọn ọmọ Àwórì kọ́ Òwórì ni ẹni tí kòkòrò ń ta lórí àwọn ọmọ Àwórì gan mọ̀ ó ní àwọn ọmọ Àwórì wèrè òsínwín àgbàlagbà ó lè má níyàwó nílé ọlọ́mọdé tó ti ṣe tìsàlẹ̀ gbẹ̀yìn kìíní yẹn ò dẹ̀ da tó bá ti ṣe tìsàlẹ̀ yẹn ọlọ́run kòkòrò ń ta lórí ẹ má bínú ibi tí mo tún yà sí lálẹ́ ibi spirit mi ṣe lọ nìyẹn. Imagine pé Azeez Gbadé ìyá Kogi grandma iná wa ń tọ́jà mi báyìí ìyá mi Comfort Ológun yà ní ìyá Kogi is the Òmìnira defence minister Mike Babs is immigration minister. How did we get to all this? What are you? Grandma, ìyá mi Comfort Ológun jà. I thought we say we are intelligent people. We are intelligent people, then we got to where things were cooked together. Ẹ kà mú ni kúrò lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Bọ̀ká tó parí easy tó bá dàárọ̀ la jọ no shift time lẹ wà ní South America 1 2 3 4 5 ẹ wà níbi aago 9 nbà ní kẹ́ bá mi lọ drop passport yín sọ́dọ̀ àfáà yẹn lọ́la àbí lálẹ́ bọ̀ àfáà ti sùn l'Amẹ́ríkà àfáà máa ń sùn wọn àti tó níbi tó máa lọ láàárọ̀ ọ̀la tó máa lọ ṣiṣẹ́ kò ní sùn ó máa kí àsùbàbọ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ sùn tó bá dọ̀la ẹ lọ mú passport yín fún àfáà pé kó jọ kó bá yín ṣàdúrà lé lórí pé ẹ fẹ́ wá sí UK pẹ̀lú American passport. That is what Nigeria has done to us. Nígbà kan rí gbogbo àwọn grandma àwọn àǹtí mi David àwọn tí mo mọ̀ dáadáa tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn ẹnu ọ̀nà lọ́ọ́ ti máa ń lo Nigerian passport wa. Nigeria wọ́n mọ̀ pé kówó dé wọ́n mọ̀ pé owó ti dé òyìnbó mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà tó bá dé kò ń ṣe fraud ló wá ṣe wọ́n mọ̀ pé economy yìí ń boom ẹ̀ ń wá bí tẹ́ ti fẹ́ náwó ẹ fi wá ra champagne ẹ fi wá ra aṣọ ẹ fi wá ra this ẹ fi wá ra lace ní gbogbo Liverpool street yẹn lace lọ máa ń rà níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn gbogbo àwọn ìyá yìí ìgbà yẹn tó bá dé náírà wọ́n ní London Victoria wàá fún wọn ní náírà wàá fún ẹ ní pounds tó bá ti dé nísìnyẹn ìwọ tó ṣe ń dé mú náírà sí Heathrow airport kò ní o fẹ́ ṣe ní Burundi change níbẹ̀ ṣe lọ́mọ máa wò pé owó olúwo lélẹ̀. And this is why we are saying to our people that Nigeria has done, yes, it was working at some point, but we didn't realize that working here only agenda nínú. So ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí program ká fi ìyàwó Janet sílẹ̀ máa play orin yẹn towards the end because mo fẹ́ padà sórí nǹkan tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan kó tó di pé we were talking about Luxembourg is a country that their government is monarchy, democracy, Grand Duchy, and the Unitary State. The population is 653,000. But Ambanko Konlola de Luxembourg, we were looking at the high income nation. Ṣé rántí pé ibẹ̀ la sọ̀rọ̀ délé nǹkan? Ẹ jẹ́ n gbé flag sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ díẹ̀. Now, I've gone to the news and I've just typed in high income nation. First post in Advantage tí mo ní mo máa ń gbọ́ news one, which is, Indian outlet news, very powerful, news network. Owó dẹ̀ lọ fi sọ pé wọ́n wà powerful. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ ń support Koikimedia. We're very grateful, no matter how small, no matter how big. Each time tẹ́ bá fún wa báyìí, ẹ máa fún wa ní pleasure pé yes, mo ní láti lọ máa wá ṣe Tinubu pé kó fún mi ní $50,000 tó máa wá gbé receipt lọ sọ́dọ̀ Esther blog àbí Star blog àbí whatever àwọn blogging tún dé ẹ̀dùn àgbẹ̀ mo ti fún Koiki lówó ẹ̀ pariwo ẹ̀ síta. So we're very grateful. Indian goal to become high income country by 2047 unlikely to be achieved. The Economic Times. I am now asking us, when are we likely as Nigerians to get to high income nation? Within the next 60 years? 100 years from now? So why then do we want to remain Nigerians? Mo kí Yorùbá ni mí lórí Instagram àti gbogbo ẹni tí mo dárúkọ náà. So why then do we want to remain Nigerians if we are not likely to get, or we are not likely to become? Because even India, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo Indian economy lẹ́ni. Indian economy, I guess, is number 4 or 5 in the world. Indian economy. The GDP growth is 7.2% annually. Their gross domestic product is 3.4 trillion as of 2022. The GDP per capita is $2.4 million. The gross national income is about 11.67. Internet user is about 46.3% of the population. India is the 4th largest economy in the world. Moki, ẹ má bínú ẹ kí n tún confirm. Obìnrin ni Oyèrò Kẹ́yìn àbí ọkùnrin. Àná mo mọ̀ pé sọ fún mi nígbà kan. But brain mi ẹ má bínú. I just want to recollect again. Ẹ bá mi answer yẹn jẹ́ ẹ má bínú mà. Ẹ má bínú sir. And I hope I will remember again. I know I was told the last time. I believe it's Indian economy is the 4th largest. That is where Nigeria is meant to be. If truly Nigeria was meant to be a country that is meant for every one of us. But Nigeria was never one and it can never be one. Ìyàwó Oyèrónkẹ́ Ọláníyàn. Recently, the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that India is expected to overtake Japan and Germany to emerge as the world's 3rd largest economy by 2027, which is 3 years from now. Currently, in the US dollar term, India is the 5th largest economy with a size of about 3.7 trillion in the normal terms. India to become 4 trillion economy by 2027. Why are we telling lies to ourselves that we have a country, knowing fully well that that country will not materialize? Ṣé Tinubu ṣì máa wà níbẹ̀ after 30 years? Rigge. Even from the way they are saying, if you change the system, oh my Lord, forever. It can't go forever. And moreover, I'm a Tinubu ti dàgbà. Kolon fún lálàáfíà. Because gbogbo ala mọ̀ pé age yẹn, àwọn tó mọ̀ dáadáa wọ́n sọ fún wa ni o. Àwọn tí Tinubu ń pè láǹtí, táwọn wá ń wo Tinubu ní sìn pé ìjọ olódi wá di age ká má lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn lálẹ́. So let's come back again quickly to We started with the marine engineer. I'm just summarizing now because I want to close the broadcast. Who are the marine engineer? One of our brothers in the Shedara Pomowa, the Balogbo program at the beginning of my year. So you must have so that clear saying is a marine engineer. He studied a marine engineer. He's driving Okada somewhere in Benin Republic. We looked at how much a marine engineer is earning in the UK value. It's about 44 or the minimum about 35, which is equivalent to about 74 million naira in the Nigerian rate. That is what somebody should be earning, but is somewhere in Benin Republic riding Okada back to back. Then we went from there to talk about some other areas. Then we went to find out why is Russia still making more money and their income, is good. We realized that more soldiers are being employed to work as the war continues between Russia and Ukraine. I even thought it was 14,000 until my brother Keke Oko said, no, Koiki, Ojibelo, the Russian soldiers are paying $22,000 for every soldiers that are joining. And more people are joining from the rural area. That means money is flowing back into the rural area. Why is money not flowing back in our rural areas? Because number one, the money is restricted. Nobody's giving the money out, and the money kò sí lọ́wọ́ mẹ̀kúnnù. Ìyẹn ni mẹ̀kúnnù ṣe ń pariwo ebi o, ebi ń pa wá. Imagine if all the billions stolen goes back to the average Nigerians, especially those in the rural area, not even in the city. The economy will be booming and all that, including some other things as well. So we talked about that as well. Then we talked about, Luxembourg. Then we went to talk. We looked at the Labour Party and said, look, I'm not here to, sell the party to you, but I'm talking about how the party worked very hard to prepare to push away the conservatives that have been there for 14 years. What do we do? Kí la máa ṣe to make sure that our Yoruba nation, kò ní sú wa, kò ní rẹ̀ wá, we can make that push until we get to our final destination. But Koiki ní Yoruba nation máa wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Yes, but you got to remember that Nigeria has been running for a very long time. Britain prepared their mind. Kódà àwọn èèyàn ń dúró pé kó pé election ni. Mo rí rẹ́rì. And I told you that the English, àwọn òyìnbó tó jẹ́ kán òyìnbó tó yẹ pé conservative ni gbogbo bàbá wọn àwọn ìyá wọn vote fún látijọ́ tó ti bí wọn. Every one of them turned against the Conservative Party. So that shows something that the world is changing. Things will happen in Nigeria, whether miraculously, we believe that, but it has to be also hard work, which is what we are doing right now. It is not going to be coming very easy, but the more we push, the more one day the door will force to be open. Call English people mo gbọ́rí kọ́ sọ pé àwọn lọ tẹ̀ka fún Labour Party nítorí pé kí ni they were just tired and fed up of the 14 years of the Conservative government. Are you not fed up of Nigeria? If you're fed up of Nigeria, you should not promote anything to keep Nigeria together. We should promote how Nigeria will dissolve. And don't let any pastor fool you. Along, no, we're not fighting the country. We are taking back our own territory. Nigeria does not belong to them. Yoruba land belongs to every one of us. Nigeria was a name put together by the British under the governor administrator called Lugard. Lugard from eventually we are still being known as Nigeria. I believe because what the Westerners are telling you that Nigeria is the most powerful nation in Africa, blah blah blah, it does not bring any money to your pocket. You are as poor as the church rat. And on that note, that is how far I can go. Kakogbo, orílẹ̀-èdè mi fún 1 minute, then I close the broadcast. Moki Walen Konseshegoni for joining us this morning. A very good morning once again. Mr. Jimo Razak, how many times will I say a country without identity can never work anything because there won't be any reason from our leader to think positive? Nigeria is still talking about Fulani working cow. in the century. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a rí àwọn màálù tó tún lọ jẹ oko kan ní Kwara State. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ silent listeners wa. Tẹ́ni wá àtòdè ọ̀run adé orí òkè. Adé kan ti ń jẹ egungun báyìí kọ́lọ́n kó ṣàánú wa. Ẹni tó bá ti subscribe sórí ẹ jẹ́ ń lọ wo ibi tí nọ́mbà yẹn dé lálẹ́ yìí. Mo bẹ̀ wá ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa lọ subscribe sórí channel wọn. Lóko faraye. A ti wà ní 402. I'm sure we can do more if everybody find it. Tẹ́ bá ń wá page wọn ẹ kọ type Janet kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè mi sí lórí YouTube àgbéjáde. Okay, type Janet Arabani, and the link have also been posted. That is how far I can go this morning. I hope you've learned one or two things again this morning. Just like I also learned from my brother Keke Okos that $22,000 they want to from soldier Russia. Gbogbo Nigerian soldiers will come up to $30,000 equivalent lówó Nigeria. A ní owó yẹn, but ó wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn olóṣèlú. Àwọn ló fi ń jẹ tọ̀ìtọ̀ì, ló fi ń gbé aláṣẹ́wó káàkiri ní gbogbo Àbújá hotel báyìí lálẹ́ nísìn ó ti wà close wọ́n ń ṣe fàájì rẹpẹtẹ, but nǹkan kan ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ́yìn Nigerians máa dìde tẹ́ máa béèrè fẹ́ tán yín. Ẹ má hold our diaspora responsible for your predicament. Àwa kọ́ là ń ṣe yín, government Nigeria ló ń ṣe yín. Àwọn làjẹ́, àwọn lóṣó, àwọn lèmèrè, àwọn ló ń yọ sí yín lójú oorun. Kódà àwọn wọn ni wọ́n fún yín lóúnjẹ lójú oorun. Yorùbá nation not going back. Iṣẹ́ wa fún nẹ́wà orílẹ̀ ìbí wa kàgbéga fàlérí ìgbàgbọ́ wa ní pé bàtí bẹ́ẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ kájọlá ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹjẹ́ ká máa lépa tẹ̀síwájú pọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Ṣé òjò ló ń rọ̀ mí? Òjò alálùbáríkà ló ń rọ̀ látànà ni á tù wá lára gbogbo ẹ̀tẹ̀ wọn lé náà á tù yín lára o. And on that note òun ayọ̀lá máa sùn ó dàrọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo nílẹ̀ kan sí o gbogbo àwọn pátápátá àtẹnitá dárúkọ gbogbo ẹni mo kí o. And all the Koikimedia team, we love you, we appreciate you for the good work you are doing on behalf of the Koikimedia, and all the rest of you as well. Have a great weekend. Bye for now. Thank you so much, those of you on our Twitter space. We'll be back again over the weekend. Have a very good morning. Bye for now.